Oh, very interesting. So what we should be doing is you should be talking to the people over at that other station that no one listens to.
No, I think we're good.
Because they have leaks. All right, so you got predictions?
Okay, so here's what I think is going to happen. And again, there are some leaks. I do think I have some of these right. I guarantee that I have some of these wrong. According to the leaks, I have correctly guessed that the Packers' bye week will be Week 10. Now, I think if you're going to ask Coach Matt LaFleur, when do you want your bye week, he might circle right around that time of the schedule, right? You're starting to spin into winter, back end of the season.
Injuries.
Exactly, right? I mean, every coach will say there's no terrible time for the bye, but nobody wants it in Week 4.
Right.
You want to have that somewhere around the middle of the season. I did not guess this, but the leaks would indicate that the Packers are going to take on the Miami Dolphins on Thanksgiving. It'll be the night game.
Oh, wow.
On Thanksgiving.
That's fun.
That's fun.
Where is that game?
So the Packers are going to take on Miami. That is a home game. So that'll be at Lambeau Field in chilly-ish weather. And I also, from the looks of it, I did not guess the Packers would play on Christmas. There will be 2 games aired on Netflix on Christmas, which is a Wednesday, by the way. I thought the Packers would be ripe for one of those games. I did not guess that. It's just not the way that my schedule unfolded. And it does not appear the Packers will be playing on Christmas, which, again, is a Wednesday.
Yeah, that's weird, a Wednesday.
Did they play last Christmas? Maybe. No.
They've played on Christmas and Christmas Eves in the past several years. There have been a handful of them. So I know the folks at ESPN Milwaukee are doing a kind of a schedule release show later tonight. I had Alex Strofe, our good friend and intrepid producer over there, piece together what I got correct. So apparently I got Week 11 correct. The Packers will take on the Bears in Chicago.
Ooh, nice.
And Week 12, they'll play a home game against the San Francisco 49ers. So according to this, I got Week 2 correct against the Colts, the bye week in Week 10, and then Weeks 11 and 12 also correct. So
that's a record year.
That is a record year.
You broke your record.
Amazing.
Feeling really good about that.
You should feel good about that. This is almost impossible to predict this.
It's not easy. And once you get one wrong, it's hard to recover.
Yeah.
I've noticed that too.
It's like that one game, like Clue or something, where if you get rid of them.
Yeah. Are you going to Brazil?
Not sure what that means. I don't know. I would like to. There have been no international incidents over the years. I think I'm allowed in Brazil. I think that's an opportunity. I don't think that I'm going, but I didn't think I was going to London either, and that worked out.
I could see you a little samba maybe, Copacabana Beach.
Sure.
You'd be good in Brazil.
It's a matter of getting back from Brazil. Couple of other leagues here. According to Packers News, the Packers will play Seattle on December 15th. And they'll take on the Bears in the season finale. So it would be the Bears at home in Week 18. Again, that would be an early January game.
Great.
Right? A lot of appeal there. It's still not clear to me what the Sunday night games are and so on. But we're starting to get some sense of what this schedule could look like. Looks like New Orleans for Monday Night Football in Week 16. So if you want to go to the Packers-Saints game, that'll be a home game against New Orleans, Week 16, Monday Night Football.
So my family has the Milwaukee package tickets, and they hate it when there's a night game during the week, and it's a Milwaukee game because people are driving up and back. And so when it's on a Thursday, and if it's near Thanksgiving, a lot of times that ends up being the Milwaukee game.
Sure.
And that's a pain.
You get home at like 3 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. You've done that drive lots of times.
It's not easy.
Yeah, that's not a lot of fun. Hey, how's the afternoon show going? Julie and I talk about this all the time. Your midday show, we listen to it a lot. You guys sound like you're having fun. It's smart. You have good interviews. You guys sound great together.
It's fun. So Jessica Ty and I are together from 11 to 1. She's the brains of the operation. I just more or less get us in and out of breaks, make sure we hit weather on time and occasional traffic update. But collaboratively, I think we piece something that's kind of fun and interesting together. And I've told you this, John, I've learned so much from you. I don't think I'm doing what I'm doing if it weren't for you.
Oh, that's nice.
And I truly mean that. Years of grooming and kind of evolving on the afternoon show has prepped me to take on a larger role. So you're a big part of that. I truly do believe that.
That's nice of you to say that. You guys sound absolutely great. You sound, you have big interviews, but you have fun. I can hear you guys smile, which is really cool.
We have a good time, and we've got chemistry that is similar to what you and Julie have developed, too. And I've always had fun working with Julie on days that you've been out. So
it's good stuff.
It's great
when
we
you've
can
been
all
out
hang.
on the beach.
Yeah, when I'm somewhere. 11 to 1. Check out the Midday News Show with Greg and Jessica.
And I urge you, if you want to do this next year, get out a pen and paper and try and create the Packers schedule.
I'm proud of you. You broke your record.
I did. Wow. I didn't think it was going to happen, but I'm thankful for that opportunity.
That's such good stuff. Greg Matzik. It is 3:24 at WTMJ. Business Headlines up next.
Well, I would say some of the biggest challenges to building American-made furniture is competing with low overseas wages. America has higher wages.
Ben and Arvid Huth from Penny Mustard Furnishings.
It's still a big benefit to make it in the United States because even though labor costs are higher, we all know the American worker is the most efficient, most productive worker in the world, especially employees in the Midwest. Midwest people are renowned for their work ethic. There's advantages to that outweigh extra labor cost. And there's also a lot of other advantages. Freight costs are way cheaper if it's made locally.
If you build furniture in China and you send it to the Midwest, it's 8,000 miles to get here. And in order to make that travel, you have to be well packaged, heavy cardboard, lots of foam, lots of bubble wrap. We don't do any of that.
Not very environmentally friendly.
No, not very environmentally friendly if you're concerned about that, but we just use a blanket, right? Our furniture travels from the wood shop to our warehouse and right to the customer. And everything's touched by our people. We have no third party touching any of that, so we can control that quality.
PennyMustard.com.
It's a competitive real estate market. And with that, you need an expert to market your home so that it sells fast. And most importantly, at a great price. Here's the deal. At Benefit Realty, you get all of the expertise you'll find with a 6% broker, and many times even more. But you get it for less. 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission. At the end of the day, that saves you a bundle. So why pay more? This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where we'll make your move simple and affordable. Benefit-realty.com. Here's the truth about marketing your home online. If your home is on the MLS website, it's going to be listed on every online home marketing website out there. And when you agree to a full-service listing with Benefit Realty, your home will be there too, to make sure every online shopper gets a chance to see it. Get full-service, expert real estate services and marketing, all at only 3.5 to 3.9% commission. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where we'll make your move simple and affordable. Benefit-realty.com.
This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, and I want to talk about exactly what we do. When you come here, you're going to get 2 shots with 2 very small needles. One will be a medication called Toradol, which is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, completely different from a standard steroid or cortisone injection. This medication is safe and a great pain reliever. The other will be hyaluronic acid, which is a naturally occurring fluid found in all of our joints. What hyaluronic acid does is it helps recoat the inside surfaces to provide cushioning and lubrication. It helps slow down the osteoarthritis process to a point where patients may not need surgery. All of this combined with using our state-of-the-art Ultra G machine developed by NASA has produced profound results. What we do works. And the best part about this is that insurance covers most of our patients' treatments. Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Business headlines, it's the Annex Wealth Management Market Update, and it's a great day for the markets. The NASDAQ is roaring, up 231 points today. It's at 16,742. New records being set all across the board. The Dow, a record high, up 350 today. It's at 39,908. The S&P up 61. That's at 5308. That's what I'm talking about. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Even when you get a great price, diamonds cost a lot of money.
But we want you to be able to buy the engagement ring you really want.
You won't have to settle for anything less than fantastic when you come to Kessler's.
We do everything in our power to make it possible for you to give her that magical engagement ring you really want her to have.
Friendly financing makes it possible.
We can give you 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit.
And with approved credit, we can give you 36 months to pay with just 9.99%.
And if getting your credit approved is a problem, we've even got second chance financing for people who deserve a second chance.
Don't settle for second best. Come to Kessler's.
Seriously, we do everything in our power to make it possible for you to give her that magical engagement ring you really want her to have.
That's the sort of thing you can expect from us when you hear us say, "Welcome to Kessler's."
Welcome to Kessler's.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com. And one more thing. Welcome to Kessler's.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. With the weather getting warmer, our prices get even hotter. When you visit our showroom, you'll see all the finest brands of lights and ceiling fans. BBC is Wisconsin's largest supplier to new home builders, contractors, and designers. And we display all the famous brands such as Visual Comfort, Tech, Hubbard & Forge, and hundreds more. Our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and on Saturday from 10 to 4. We are located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
While you're navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Mazda Traffic Tip Line at 414-238-9329.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story: facing more than 50 years in prison after a police chase.
I'm Julia Fellow. Two presidents going head-to-head.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and we got some pretty hefty delays. Westbound on 94 leaving the Marquette all the way past Hawley Road. You'll be back on the brakes from the Zoo interchange into Waukesha County. The eastbound side, we're seeing delays from 76th Street through the stadium as well to 27th Street. Also, northbound 43, very heavy out of the Marquette up to Keefe. Southbound's pretty much on and off the brakes from Hampton Avenue down past Center Street, and then back on the brakes from North Avenue down over the high-rise bridge all the way down towards the KK River. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight will be mostly clear. The low will be 48 degrees. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, scattered rainstorms, mainly in the evening, 60 at the lake, 72 inland. The current temperature is 61 degrees in Milwaukee and sunny.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a 19-year-old facing more than 50 years in prison after a police chase in a stolen pickup truck that injured an 11-year-old boy.
The charges for Griffin Johnson include recklessly endangering safety, fleeing officers in a vehicle, and neglecting a child. According to a criminal complaint, Johnson had stolen a pickup truck equipped with a plow, driving it on 2 high-speed chases away from 3 police departments on the night of May 9th. The second chase ending when he crashed into 3 cars, a crosswalk signal, a traffic light, and several signposts, injuring 3 people in the process. The truck then rolled into a ditch and caught fire. An 11-year-old boy was pulled from the wreck. Accounts differ on whether he was forced into the truck. He is still being treated for his injuries. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Milwaukee police investigating a shooting involving multiple teenagers. It happened early this morning near 44th and Clark on the northwest side. One 17-year-old was shot, then ran for help before being rushed to the hospital. Another 17-year-old was found dead hours later. They died of gunshot wounds at the scene. Milwaukee police are seeking unknown suspects.
Decision Wisconsin. President Biden and former President Donald Trump are set to debate twice before the November election. The debates will take place on June 27th and September 10th. Biden joined 1017 The Truth Sherwin Hughes to outline one of his priorities if elected to a second term.
President Biden says he plans to do a lot more for education on multiple levels than he was able to do in his first term in the Oval Office. He tells 1017 The Truth Sherwin Hughes.
By just sending people to preschool, kids to preschool at age 3, not daycare, preschool, 3, 4, and 5 years old, you increase by 58% the ability of them to get through all 12 years of school. I think we should have free community college, cutting the cost in college in half. Give people a chance, just a chance, a fighting chance, and that's what I'm about.
Julian Johnson, WTMJ News.
Intelligence officials say they are most concerned about Russia when it comes to meddling in this year's election. The director of the National Intelligence spoke to the Senate Intelligence Committee today.
The Russian government's goals in such influence operations tend to include eroding trust in U.S. democratic institutions, exacerbating sociopolitical divisions in the United States, and degrading Western support to Ukraine.
Intelligence officials are continuing to monitor activity from Russia, China, and Iran.
The Transportation Security Administration's chief testified before lawmakers today about evolving nature of threats when traveling.
TSA Administrator David Pekoski discussed their proposed fiscal year 2025 budget. Chairman Carlos Jimenez says there's an evolving threat landscape and that TSA has a steadfast responsibility to screen and protect the traveling public. Pekoski spoke about streamlining the timeline for new aviation screen technology and how TSA can improve identifying and detecting threats.
Ensuring security of our transportation system requires constant focus, continued investment, and hard work.
Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
Milwaukee County Parks could be opening 2 more deep well pools this summer as their roster of lifeguards is growing. The Parks Department expects to have about 110 lifeguards ready to work this summer. That's up 10% compared to last year. The department also plans to have 30 waders and splash pads this summer. Last year, just 25 water parks, wading pools, and splash pads were open throughout the county because of staffing challenges.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update. From the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk, the Brewers win 10-2 today. They hit the road to take on the Astros on Friday. And the Packers open their season in Brazil against the Eagles on September 6th. Rest of the schedule will be released tonight.
Coming up at about 3:39. A truly Wisconsin connection to one of the top dogs at Westminster. Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 3:35.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano inviting you to spend New Year's at sea and offering you an amazing deal if you book the Vinny Cruise now. Join my family and me on Royal Caribbean's Wonder of the Seas, a Western Caribbean cruise leaving December 29th. Right now you can save up to $875 per person if you book through my partners, Expedia Cruises Brookfield. It's the only place you can get this deal right now. We'll stop in Mexico, Honduras, Royal Caribbean's private island in the Bahamas, and let's spend some time together. A welcome cocktail party for our group, dinner, a full group excursion on Roatan Island, a day of sloths, monkeys, zip lining, snorkeling, and a delicious local island-style lunch included. Our group from Wisconsin rings in the new year then together at sea. Enjoy Christmas here at home, and then let's set sail for the trip of a lifetime. Couples, bring the kids, or grandma and grandpa. How about bringing the entire family? Email me for more information from Expedia Cruises Brookfield. Vince at WTMJ.com. That's Vince at WTMJ.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
John, did you watch the Westminster Dog Show this week?
I did not. I saw some highlights, though, but no.
A toy poodle named Sage won Best in Show during this week's Westminster Dog Show. We have a huge Wisconsin connection to the best show on earth. The best in the herding group, which includes your beloved corgis, was 4-year-old German Shepherd #1 Mercedes, escorted by its human, Kent Boyles of Edgerton, Wisconsin. Here's the moment the German Shepherd Mercedes was picked up in the best herding group during the nerve-wracking lineup.
Sir.
Don't you love that? We have Kent Boyles on the line. Ken, thank you for joining us.
Hi, how are you this afternoon?
Fantastic. So I heard you pulled over. Are you driving back home with Mercedes right now?
Well, actually, we're going from New York City to Baltimore because we have another dog show in the morning.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. Tell me, did Mercedes get a nice treat afterwards?
Yeah, actually. We had, let's see, a couple of New York strips is what we picked up for her to use to kind of tease her up while she was in the ring. So I gave her the rest of that, what was left over.
That's fantastic.
Wow.
How nerve-wracking is it to because you've had a Best in Show. There's a cousin of Mercedes, right? From 2017.
Right. Yes. Rumor has it. She was Best in Show winner there in 2017. And then we had won the herding group this year with Mercedes and reserve Best in Show.
So here's when the judge said that Mercedes was #1. Let's all listen.
The German Shepherd is #1. #2 is the Old English Sheepdog. #3 is the Boohoon. #4 is the Bearded Collie.
No corgi, John, unfortunately, for the top 4.
No corgis for sure.
What did you think when you heard that? Was there one thing that you think the judge knew right away that Mercedes was special?
You can't tell right away that they know it because they don't really give you too much of an indication as to what they're going to do until after after they point. and make the announcement. That's when you know. And it was, we were thrilled.
So, Kent, my corgis are super motivated by food. I used to have a Cocker Spaniel, not as much, more motivated by playtime and attention. What motivates Mercedes?
Oh, in the ring, I normally use the food because it's pretty hard to bring the ball in and play with the toy. But we do a lot of food and just a lot of preparation from the standpoint of just trying to make that a really fun, exciting time for him as best you can while you're in the ring with the dog.
We have Kent Boyles of Edgerton, Wisconsin with us, whose dog, German Shepherd Mercedes, just got picked as the best herding group with the Westminster Dog Show. How important was it for you to have it out there and to showcase what you love? You've been doing it for more than 30 years, German Shepherds in particular. Why do you love that breed?
Oh, I've just always was like German Shepherd nuts when I was a kid and always wanted them and finally got them and then became involved in them and went to work for a breeder that I bought my first purebred dog from, and then he had a couple of dogs that he had out with professional handlers that I got to go hang out with those guys and go to the dog shows, and I just gravitated towards that for an occupation. I thought it was like the coolest thing. I get to go to dog shows, travel around the country, and spend all my time with dogs.
Kent, when you have a young dog, can you tell right away if the dog is something really special or will be special in the judge's eyes, like Rumor obviously was, like Mercedes? Can you tell that the dog has that something special when they're young?
Well, you see it like you're hopeful and you think, wow, they might have a lot of possibilities and whatnot, but it takes time for them to kind of develop into themselves. And then when you see one with a lot of potential, then you spend a lot of time socializing and get them out and just try to build attitude on them and kind of cultivate that show dog type of personality and attitude with them.
And what does your attitude have to be? Do you train yourself on how to do it in the ring?
Well, you got to stay pretty upbeat and positive, and make it a real positive experience for the dog, for sure.
I see.
Congratulations. This is a big deal.
Oh, yeah, it's a big deal within the dog world, and it's a very popular dog show. I mean, it's the one with the most notoriety in the country, that's for sure.
And good luck to you and Mercedes.
Yeah, well, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for being with us. We really do appreciate it. Congratulations, Kent Boyles of Edgerton and Mercedes. Mercedes being awfully well behaved. Kent, thank you so much.
Yep, thank you.
That's fun. It is 3:42 at WTMJ. State Senator Tim Carpenter, after Debbie helps get you home.
The biggest names in the basketball world.
Dame Dollar Lillard.
Having fun and honest conversations.
He puts it in the shoe, right? And sets the tone for brothers and sisters and family.
Every week, Thanasis Adetokounmpo sits down with special guests on Thanalysis Show. Presented by Carbless ready-to-drink cocktails.
Fantastic.
Find Thanalysis Show on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And on YouTube by searching Thanalysis Show.
We find the best way to protect and uphold the reputation of our business is to hire good people and then take care of them. We really do love the people that work for us and we care about what's in their best interest. And what that means to you is this: who do you really want on your job? Someone who's maybe underpaid or doesn't feel appreciated? Might not have paid vacations or great work benefits? Our folks have all of these things and more. Vito and I make sure they feel appreciated because happy people do happy work. There's a culture we're building here at Semper Fi that brings respect back to a very hard job. And that's why we know that our crews are going to do the kind of work that you expect. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Sleep apnea is a serious condition. And the worst part about it is, because it affects you while you're sleeping, you don't know what this condition is doing to you.
And it was scary because I found out that I was waking up 145 times an hour. 145 times. I was scared. I wasn't getting the sleep I needed.
And that's the thing. Someone like John wakes up after thinking he's slept all night, and he's been feeling run down for years, and finally finds out something really is wrong. This is why, for us, solving sleep apnea problems is so gratifying, because we really are changing lives.
I've had more energy. I'm getting better sleep. I've been told from my wife I don't snore, but honestly, it changed my life.
This is Dr. Madan Kandula. Solving your breathing triangle problems means a better quality of life, and you deserve that.
Go to AdventKnows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scafidi for the Bath Authority. If your bath or shower is old, outdated, has mold and mildew, or broken tiles, you gotta call my friends at the Bath Authority. The Bath Authority provides the highest quality bathroom remodeling products, along with a world-class, best-in-class customer experience. All Bath Authority products 100% made in the U.S. and can be installed in as little as 1 day by certified factory technicians. You're their priority at the Bath Authority, thebathauthority.com. A better bath awaits.
Traffic is sponsored by the Delafield Brewhouse Restaurant and Brewery. Visit delafieldbrewhouse.com for daily specials.
April showers bring May flowers, but spring brings Bach, My Bach. The Delafield Brewhouse just tapped their own vintage gold medal winning My Bach. Drink ale, live lager at the Delafield Brewhouse. delafieldbrewhouse.com.
Traffic and weather. Let's go look at the roads. Hey, Deb.
Hey there, we've got some backups on southbound 41 now from basically Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. Northbound slowing down from Watertown Plank Road all the way up past Burleigh. We got southbound 43 backing up from Silver Spring all the way down through the Marquette interchange and over the high-rise bridge. Northbound slow from the Marquette up to Keefe. Westbound 94 still solid out of the Marquette all the way past Hawley Road. The eastbound side is also going to be slowing down from 76th Street all the way through to about 27th. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight's going to be mostly clear. The low will be 48 degrees. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, scattered rain and storms. Mainly in the evening, the high will be 60 at the lake, 72 inland. Friday will be partly cloudy, possible showers early, 69 at the lake, 74 inland. Saturday, partly cloudy, showers possible at night, 71 at the lake, 78 inland. And Sunday, mostly sunny. You get to see the sun, 74 at the lake, 78 inland.
It was a heated day in the Wisconsin State Senate yesterday, the last day of the session. Democratic Senator Tim Carpenter lost his cool, got upset yesterday when Republicans tried to silence debate to override 9 vetoes from Democratic Governor Tony Evers. This was at the very end of the session. The senator is here. He's going to explain it in a second, but I wanted you to take a listen to Senator Carpenter during one of the last roll calls before they took a break.
The governor did not veto the money.
Senator, you are out of order. You're required to sit. You shall care. You're out of order.
Senator Carpenter then threw his papers up in the air. There was a stare down. Things were adjourned. And Senator Carpenter is with us in the studio. Senator, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for being here, John. Give us some perspective. Tell us what we heard, what was happening.
Sure. I think the person that you heard was Senator Smith. At that point, there was an important bill in his area dealing with Chippewa Falls and Eau Claire. There's a hospital that just closed and didn't give much notice. And so they don't have an area to deliver babies for a long distance, psychiatric care, all sorts of treatment. And so what happened was there's $15 million that was out there that we were going to try and get to those hospitals. And the reason why I'm concerned about it also is in my background, St. Michael's on the north side of Milwaukee was on the verge of closing. St. Francis Hospital that I was born at, I'm worried about them closing. And so anytime you have a hospital closing, you got to stand up and do something. So Senator Smith in his area was standing up and wanting to talk about the issue of releasing the money and releasing the $125 million of PFAF funding. The point that I got is when they went ahead and adjourned, cut off debate, we wanted to bring up 5 bills, which I can talk about a little bit later. But in my time in the legislature, I've never seen sort of like an abuse. We're in the minority 22-10, and basically all debate was cut off. And so I guess I care too much and afraid the Republicans care too little about some of the issues that we wanted to bring up.
So the fate of these vetoed bills isn't even going to change because they don't have the votes in the Assembly to override the veto like happened in the Senate. Was this largely just politics? Was it showmanship? I mean, these bills are going to likely still become law.
John, I think the biggest thing is the Republican Party and the Senate caucus, Republican caucus, is deeply divided. And I think Speaker LeMahieu is sort of in a faction with another group of people, and his leadership is being threatened. But the biggest reason is this weekend, I believe it's up in Oshkosh or Appleton, the Republican state convention is going on. And I have Republican friends, and they've told me that they're very angry with their legislators. And so I think this was specifically held to sort of play to the masses of throwing red meat to people, saying that the election was stolen in 2020 and some of these other issues.
There's a lot of elections coming up. It's symbolic.
Yes.
Obviously, Democratic Senator Tim Carpenter of Milwaukee is joining us right now. Can you tell me about when you went up there as the last vote was being taken? You went up there and you were pointing right at the president of the Senate. What were you saying to him as the vote was being tallied?
I go around and talk to a lot of the senators that are around, especially President Kappinga, because we've talked about things, worked on them beforehand so that we wouldn't come to this. And when I talk to him about it, about what is being fair, one thing that will always get my goat is when they cut off debate. In my time of being in the legislature for 40 years, I can probably only count about 10 times either the Democrats or the Republicans cut off debate. And so I went up to him and said, hey, we just want to be able to have a vote on this. I did not know at the time that the reason they adjourned so abruptly is a state senator had to catch a flight at a certain time. So we adjourned the entire state Senate because one person had to catch a flight.
Is that normal?
That is abnormal. In fact, if you take a leave of absence, the body can continue. And there was one Senator Royce from Madison who had her tonsils taken out, so she wasn't there. So because one senator couldn't read a calendar about being there on their job and we're not in session a lot, we could have been there on the 13th and 14th and brought these things up. But he used it in his excuse because one member had to catch an airplane, and we finished at like 1 or 2 o'clock. We had the rest of the day.
So let me understand this. So they have a 22-10 advantage. If the one senator had to catch the plane and wasn't going to change their plans, couldn't the one senator have left and session could have stayed in? They would have still had a 21-10 advantage, not a threat to anything that they would want to listen to or act on.
That is absolutely correct. And many times people take a leave of absence and then they come back, or I can't tell you the number of times that if people leave, they ask for a leave of absence for the day or for a period of time, and we continue on. And so it is highly unusual that we would adjourn because of one senator. And you're right, they still would have won 21-10.
So what do you say to people who say, Senator, that elections have results, Republicans have won elections, and that's why they have the big majority, and they get to decide how the rules are enforced?
I think you're right, except for the fact is for the past 12 years after the redistricting plan by Governor Walker, the super majorities that they have, Senator Janet Protasiewicz won the state of Wisconsin by such a large margin that if you took the results of those election results and put them into Senate districts, the Democrats would have only been down 17-16. So with these heavily gerrymandered districts, which are going to be gone, and the Republicans have the fear of God in them now, that they actually have to campaign and also have to go out to their constituents, they're running scared. And so, yes, they received the majority, but it's almost like an election in Russia or the Philippines. It was a tainted election. And so they have the majority. They can do those things. But even if we were in the majority, when I was a presiding officer, everybody got the opportunity to speak.
Senator, what do you have to say to some people who may have thought that was extremely rude and out of character for you to throw the paper up in the air? I don't know if there's an expletive. I don't know what happened, but What do you have to say to people who say that?
Sure. Well, I've been in office and people understand that I take very seriously trying to represent them in the legislature. And had we not adjourned abruptly in 2 separate days to take up issues and being cut off on debate is extremely, extremely rude. And some of the bills that we had brought up the last day of session, and they wouldn't even allow us to name the bills that we wanted to bring up. And so I would like to just simply say one of the bills that passed in a voice vote from the Assembly and came over is the issue of allowing people in the DACA program. They have to be here legally. They have to pass a safety class, and they could become police officers in the city of Milwaukee. And I think that's a win-win situation because we need police officers. If we don't hire an extra certain amount, we lose 15% of our shared revenue. And so this would allow people, and I have the highest total of Latinos of any Senate district, this would allow them to become police officers as long as they do a background check, they have a clean record. And so that was one of the bills. And one that is really, really, the VFWs come to me and other veterans groups for the past 3 sessions. They have a bill that would allow for surviving spouses of disabled veterans to get a property tax credit or relief. And so someone who's in the military, they're disabled, we wanted to go ahead and lower the amount of disability in order for them to get cuts on their property tax so they can stay in their own homes.
And that passed the Assembly unanimously.
That passed the Assembly.
And doesn't even come up for a vote in the Senate.
96-0. It passed.
Hey, speaking of veterans, we're up against the clock, but you brought something in that's very special that I want to give you the chance to talk about.
Thank you, John, very much, because I know you're very connected to the honor flight.
Yes.
I'm very proud to say that I'm going to be dropping off a proclamation. A Colonel Francis Jenick was born on May 18th, 1924. So he's turning 100 years old.
Wow. He
had served in the Army from 1943 and then was in the Army Reserve. And I know you like this, especially that, he married Rosemary Stefaniak. They were married for 68 years.
Oh, my gosh.
And he ended up he was blessed to have 10 children.
Wow.
21 grandchildren and 12 great-grandchildren.
Oh, my gosh.
So I want to wish the family and especially Colonel Francis Jenick for his service and for turning 100 years old. He was on the honor flight with his son, and
that's beautiful.
It makes it all worthwhile.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you so much for doing that. And I know you do a lot of work for veterans, and I appreciate that. Senator Tim Carpenter, thank you for what you do.
Thank you very much. I want to continue doing it.
Thank you for joining us in the studio. It is 3:57 at WTMJ.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Barrett Center opens to the public Thursday following a $456 million renovation. The convention now has 1.3 million square feet overall, including 24 meeting rooms, a new exhibit hall, executive kitchen, and a ballroom. Wisconsin kicks off 2025 NFL Draft festivities with the NFL Draft handoff. The commemorative ball, similar to the Olympics tour tradition, travels from Detroit to Green Bay as the city prepares to host the NFL Draft next April. Kohl's Corp shareholders reject a proposal to establish an oversight committee to review the company's actions related to social and political matters. Of the 81% of shareholders who voted prior to the meeting, only 6% voted in favor of the proposal. I'm Logan Hansen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Business headlines sponsored by the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
Milwaukee's finest hotel, the Pfister Hotel, is continuing with renovations to enhance its already stellar reputation. Phase 2 of the renovations is in progress to transform the hotel's historic rooms, with many new rooms available now for reservations. Phase 3 will focus on the hotel's public spaces, set to be completed this summer. The renovations will blend exceptional comfort with cutting-edge technology, reinforcing the hotel's approachable sophistication. The Pfister is ready to welcome you for your next visit. Start planning your stay today at thepfisterhotel.com.
It was a sobering headline. Social Security to run short by 2035. A possible 17% reduction in benefits. At Annex Wealth Management, we feel that Social Security is only one leg of the retirement stool, but it provides needed balance. It's time to stress test your retirement plan and move forward with guidance from the fee-only fiduciaries at Annex. Do it for you, your family, your legacy. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. It only takes a few minutes to get the ball rolling. Head to annexwealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
John Mercure here for Otto's Wine and Spirits. This is my place. They've got 7 locations, best selection of wine. Huge beer cooler, all the cool seltzers and the liquor. It's Otto's Wine and Spirits, serving Milwaukee since 1945. My location is Menominee Falls. They've got locations in Milwaukee, Elm Grove, Brown Deer, Cedarburg. 7 great locations, friendly staff, knowledgeable staff. I feel good when I'm in their stores because everything's clean and organized and everybody's super friendly. And the prices are great at Otto's Wine and Spirits. They've got the best selection. They've got the best prices. It's where I shop. It's Otto's Wine and Spirits.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Injuries happen, but you don't have to play in pain or stay on the sidelines. Whether it's your kids dealing with a sports injury, college athletes, or the rest of us weekend warriors, the experts at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin will quickly diagnose your problem, lay out a treatment plan that works for you, and get you back in the game. They fixed my knee. My mother-in-law is back on the dance floor with a new hip. These are the experts you can trust. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
$1, just $1 over cost, and you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. Our only requirements is we put them on for you. Available at all 5 Griffin stores. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Now there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage, available at Navage.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Flanners Home Entertainment, Flanners.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanners Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanners, just press play.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 4:01. I'm John Mercure. Your top story. You can't register to vote if you have an OWI.
I'm Julia Fellow. Which is more important, radio host or basketball coach?
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and some big delays. Westbound 94 is our worst spot right now, leaving the Marquette solid through the stadium interchange to Hawley Road. You're back on the brakes heading past 84th Street in through the zoo, all the way to the county line, and then you're on and off the brakes in pockets all the way past Highway 16. Does not really let up till you get to about Elmhurst Road, so factor that into your ride. Southbound on 41, backing up from Appleton Avenue all the way down to Capitol Drive. Northbound slow from Watertown Plank Road in pockets all the way up to about Burleigh. And then on southbound 43, we're seeing delays coming into the Capitol Drive area from Hampton, and then back on the brakes from Keefe all the way down through the Marquette. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, clear skies, a low of 48 degrees. Tomorrow, scattered showers, a high of 72. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, charged with felony election fraud. Martin Kale of Columbus, charged with 1 count of election fraud, specifically voting as a disqualified person in the November 2022 election. Kale allegedly had been on felony probation for a 4th OWI offense in Dodge County and registered to vote in person on Election Day. He'll appear in court June 11th in Fond du Lac County.
Decision Wisconsin. The debates are set. President Biden and former President Trump will debate 2 times before November's general election. Confirmed. The first will be in CNN June 27th, the second on September 10th on ABC. Speaking exclusively to 101.7 The Truth's Sherwin Hughes, Biden emphasized the importance of voting.
If you don't vote, if they don't show up, folks don't show up, you don't have any say on who's going to be your next president. And there's so much at stake. Democracy, freedom, our economy, all on the line.
You can hear Sherwin Hughes' full interview at WTMJ.com.
Bond set for a teacher accused of grooming a student. Christian Enright of Kenosha being held on a $5,000 bond after his first appearance in court today. His lawyers tried to get the criminal case against him dismissed. They were unsuccessful. Enright pled not guilty to 22 misdemeanor charges of disorderly conduct. The former Kenosha teacher is accused of grooming a 14-year-old student after Kenosha police detectives located hundreds of deleted Snapchat messages. Enright's due back in court on June 14th.
UW Green Bay is the talk of the college basketball world after the school announced national sports radio host Doug Gottlieb will be the men's basketball head coach. He intends to keep his job behind the mic.
Coaching is a lifestyle.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher, a former Packers player, knows a lot about coaches. So he's confused how Doug Gottlieb, who does a national radio show, can also coach a Division I basketball team.
The reason most sane people don't go into coaching is the hours are obscene.
Tauscher tells Wisconsin's Morning News it's great the hire's putting UWGB in the headlines, but
I just know what coaches put themselves through, and I'm fairly certain they can't have another full-time job if they're going to be good at what they're doing.
Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Coming up, it's an honor to get your portrait painted unless you're the King of England.
And a missing teen's mother believes her child may be in grave danger. This mom spoke exclusively with our Tori Lowe and Liz Brown. They both join us in studio at 4:08. Citing a limited WTMJ News Time, 4:04.
Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
The Vollrath Company implemented a DocuWare content management solution from James Imaging Systems. Vollrath Director of Information Systems, John Sharp.
They've helped us upgrade from a previous version of our document management to automate our accounts payable processes, to store the invoices, do the three-way match, and really streamline those processes.
In addition to a DocuWare content management solution, the key to continued success is the James Imaging Systems Solutions Group.
And as an extension of our team, they've got intimate knowledge of why we've done some of the things that we do. And when we run into any issues, they're there to support us.
A DocuWare content management solution from the James Imaging Systems Solutions Group.
They know exactly where we are in our project cycle so that we've always got continuous improvement.
Content management and workflow automation from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Well, I would say some of the biggest challenges to building American-made furniture is competing with low overseas wages. America has higher wages.
Ben and Arvid Huth from Penny Mustard Furnishings.
It's still a big benefit to make it in the United States because even though labor costs are higher, we all know the American worker is the most efficient, most productive worker in the world, especially employees in the Midwest. Midwest people are renowned for their work ethic. There's advantages to that outweigh extra labor cost. And there's also a lot of other advantages. Freight costs are way cheaper if it's made locally.
If you build furniture in China and you send it to the Midwest, it's 8,000 miles to get here. And in order to make that travel, you have to be well packaged, heavy cardboard, lots of foam, lots of bubble wrap. We don't do any of that.
Not very environmentally friendly.
No, not very environmentally friendly if you're concerned about that, but we just use a blanket, right? Our furniture travels from the wood shop to our warehouse and right to the customer. And everything's touched by our people. We have no third party touching any of that, so we can control that quality.
PennyMustard.com.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 4:07.
An official portrait for King Charles in England, and everyone's a critic.
With a light tug by the king in Buckingham Palace, the curtain drops, revealing the larger-than-life oil painting, which has deeply divided opinion here. It's huge, 8.5 feet by 6.5. The face and hands look realistic, but the rest is awash in red paint. Some say it's a contemporary, outside-of-the-box effort. Others find it creepy, maybe even sinister-looking. Tom Rivers, ABC News, London.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Crew win today 10-2 and win the series against the Pirates. And the Packers open their season in Brazil against the Eagles September 6th. Full schedule out later tonight.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 4:07.
This report is sponsored by Truestone Financial, your neighborhood credit union. Visit truestone.org today.
A good neighbor would give you a cup of sugar if you asked. At Truestone Financial, we don't have any sugar, but we do have something even sweeter. Open and use a Truestone checking account and we'll give you up to $150 cash back. It's not exactly what the recipe called for, but $150 can buy you a lot of cookies. It's true, because we're Truestone. Learn more and sign up at truestone.org. Offer subject to terms and conditions. Recipient responsible for applicable taxes. Membership required.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. My home is my happy place. It's happier thanks to CertaPro painters. They painted the exterior of our house. It was quick. It was easy. You can schedule your free estimate today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated right here. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's CertaPro with a C. Estimates are easy. Estimates are accurate. They clean up. CertaPro painters are the real deal. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro painters.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
Here we are, 101.7 The Truth. Tori Lowe and Liz Brown just spoke with a Milwaukee mother who's been losing sleep and in tears because she has not seen her 16-year-old son for at least 9 days now. Take a listen to what she was talking about just yesterday with them.
I am broken and I need my son home, and I need your help. I need your help, community. I need y'all to come together with me. Please come together with me and help me find my son.
That was Grizel Delgado talking about her missing 16-year-old Fernando Jimenez Delgado. If you text WATCH to our talk and text line 855-616-1620, you can see a photo and description of the missing teen. Tori and Liz are in studio. You spoke to his mom, Grizel. There's a brand new update, too.
Right. We got a breaking news. He's been located in Fond du Lac County. And the mom called into the show to let everybody know he's been located. When I say located, they know where he is. Law enforcement is involved. I think he's having some medical things happen to him. And when I say found, that means he's at home. So he's been located.
They know where he is.
They know where he is, that he's been located.
But he's not with his family.
But he's not with his family at the moment.
How prevalent is this that someone this age gets groomed, gets lured out of their house, gets enticed away from their family?
Right.
How common is this?
Well, this is very common among young people. They say that out of all the missing, enticement online is 59%. And that they're usually like 14 years old, 15 years old in that age range where they get online, they meet somebody, they befriend them, they think that that's their friend, and then they coerce them to go out where they are, and then they take them away.
The mom said that she believes that her son was preyed on online.
Right.
Like there was a child enticement happening.
Yes, and she was able to get a hold of some of his social media, and she was looking into it, and months of conversations led her to believe that it was a higher sex trafficking idea going on.
So you're both advocates in our community. Thank you for the work that you do, Liz and Tori. All the time, Liz, we hear these cases where someone is critically endangered, somebody's critically missing. Then the next day we often hear, well, they've been located, they've been found, they're no longer missing. Do you believe a lot of these cases are this scenario where someone is lured away, they're enticed out of their house, and then eventually they're found?
A lot of them are, but again, when you say critically missing, a lot of times the process, they don't wind up being or be labeled critically missing like Fernando. The police didn't label him critically missing.
Right, there's no Amber Alert.
Because there's different criteria when it comes to people being missing and a process to how they consider a person missing. So each situation is very different.
Right.
The outcomes are very different, and the sad reality, the child that usually leaves don't come back the same.
That's a good point, John, because once we say they're located and they're safe,
Right.
are they? What's the outcome of that?
I'll say this. I call it stage A when it comes to enticement. Then it's a stage B once you get them home. A meaning that let's just get them back. Let's get them back. B, the counseling, because once they get out there and ain't no telling what these people, what they do to these young children. And the child that leaves home is not always the child that comes back. So they need a lot of coaching, a lot of help, a lot of maybe counseling. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you, like, this is just part A of this. Part B, meaning let's get them the help they need, or it will be a repeated process, because sometimes these victims come back and they believe that these people are their friends. Mm-hmm. And then these people coach them when they do to come back and be like, hey, because these are not people that are violent.
No.
These are sexual predators.
Correct.
So when the situations become loud, where we get it on the news, where it goes viral, sometimes they let the young people come back and say, hey, this is the script. Tell your family this. We're your friends. And if you want to continue to hang out with us, you got to do X, Y, and Z. So they coach them on how to go back to the home.
Yes.
So, Liz, I did a story 5 years ago with a family that this happened.
Yeah.
And the child was located and eventually brought back to the family. And the child was resentful of the family. This person cared about me. This person understands me. This person, and it destroyed the family dynamic.
It does, because again, you have to make sure that you understand that there's a process on them grooming your children and then allowing them to come back to you, because the goal is to have them come back home, because everybody is alarmed, but then tell them, now you leave again, because now when you're dealing with the police, once they're labeled a runaway, then usually you get no resources. So the goal is to have them come back to you as many times and have them run away. Once they get that label, no resources.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for the update. Breaking news this afternoon that this young man has been located. Tori Lowe and Liz Brown, 1017 The Truth. We appreciate what you guys do. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
It is 4:14 at WTMJ. Traffic up next.
This is WTMJ Steve Scafidi. Salute to Service highlights the heroic stories of first responders right here in Wisconsin. Thank you to all of those who nominated your heroes. Listen to all of the incredible stories on our Salute to Service special program Monday, May 27th from 9 to 11 a.m. And again at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. we will air the best moments from the entire week. It's Salute to Service, only heard here on WTMJ.
It's Steve Scaffidi's Salute to Service, presented by Waterstone Bank and sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Rose Gray from Fox World Travel here to bring you exciting news. In partnership with Globus, Insight Vacations, and Avalon Waterways, our 2025 Fox Group Vacations collection is now available. Whether you want to explore Europe, Hawaii, Asia, or beyond, by land or river, our award-winning Fox Group Vacation experts have handcrafted exclusive experiences for people seeking to explore the world. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. Join us and make memories to last a lifetime.
Sit Mean Sit dog training. My dogs, Bella and Baxter, they might not win the Westminster, but they're good dogs. They are better dogs thanks to Sit Mean Sit dog training. You know what? It ends up that they were always good dogs. I just didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. I didn't know how to train them, didn't know how to handle them. Sit Mean Sit dog training taught me how to be a better dog owner. You too can have a happy, confident, obedient dog. Do what we did at Sit Mean Sit dog training. Start with a free consultation. The owner, Matt, met with us, met with the dogs. It was a great fit. We moved forward, and our dogs are better behaved. Less barky, less jumpy. They're better behaved. Sit Mean Sit dog training.
Tune in on Sundays at 10 a.m. for the AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show. Join AccuNet's Brian and David Wickert for the most up-to-date information on mortgage trends, along with timely news on the real estate market. The housing market is in flux, but the national headlines don't often fit local market conditions. Find out what's really happening on the front lines of real estate and mortgage financing in Wisconsin and make better decisions by tuning in every Sunday at 10 a.m. The AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show with Brian and David Wickert on WTMJ.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Lazaga. Hello there.
Hello, westbound 94. My goodness, it is a slow ride right out of the Marquette interchange, pretty much all the way through the Zoo interchange into Waukesha County. Then you got a few more pockets of heavy traffic west of Barker Road, all the way to about Elmhurst Road. So factor that into your ride. Maybe westbound might not be your best bet today. On the eastbound side, we do still have delays from about 76th Street on and off the brakes to about 27th. Southbound 43, heavy from about Locust all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Northbound side slow for the Marquette all the way up past Keefe. And 41 southbound, heavy from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. Hey, be our eyes on the roads. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, mostly clear skies, a low of 48 degrees. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, scattered showers, a high of 72. On Friday, partly cloudy, showers likely, a high of 74. Saturday, showers at night, a high of 78. Sunday is the day, mostly sunny, a high of 78 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it's 60 degrees. So a law signed in February requires UW System and technical college boards to create a guaranteed admission program for Wisconsin students ranked in the top 5% of their class. You graduate in the top 5%, you can go to a state school. So the Journal-Sentinel has done some research to look at, all right, smarter kids are staying in state and going to school. How many of them are staying in the state? Based on data from 2015, which, believe it or not, is the most recent full data set, in-state UW grads, if you go to a UW school and you're from Wisconsin, 87% of them still lived in Wisconsin 5 years later. That's a big number.
That's a big number to me.
Me
I thought it was
too.
going to be in the 60s.
Doesn't that sound really big? 1 year post-graduation, 90% still live in Wisconsin. If you go out 10 years, 80% will still live in the state of Wisconsin. That's a pretty big number. We have a lot of out-of-state students who come to our schools. If you're from out of state and you go to school here, only 16% of those will stay in Wisconsin, 1/6. And I guess that's not surprising, right? If you're from the Chicago area, like a lot of Marquette kids, or you're from the East Coast, like kids at Madison, and you graduate, you might not stay here. You might go back where your family is.
How did your daughter get attracted, or both of your daughters get attracted to going out of state? Was it school?
That's a great question. So I had a daughter who went to Syracuse. She was a fashion design major, and so she went to school that was one of the top 5 fashion design schools in the country, and Wisconsin doesn't have one. So she went there, went to New York, fell in love with the city, and then fell in love with a New York boy, and that's that. So she's in New York and will be forever. My other daughter went to Ohio State. She applied to all Big Ten schools, and she got into Madison. She got into 4 other Big Ten schools. And when she went to Ohio State and Columbus, she just fell in love with the campus. It was amazing. We thought she might go to Madison. And when we got on the tour in Columbus, it was just a moment where it was like she felt like I belong here. She felt a connection. And she got almost a full ride for academics.
She didn't stay there.
Yeah, she didn't. So then she ended up in Texas because of her job. So kind of interesting. Yeah. And you and I are both from Illinois.
Yes, I'm so glad I'm here.
And went to school in Illinois.
Yes.
Me too. And I've been here now longer than I was in Illinois.
I'm almost going to hit that.
Yeah. This is a great place to live and a great place to raise a family.
It is. I love it. I never want to go.
Is it cheaper to rent or buy? Some very interesting and I think somewhat surprising research. That's up next on WTMJ.
I'll say it again. Our mission is to protect and uphold our reputation. And what that means is wherever we go, we make it better for those in need of our services and the great people we have working with us. Our reputation matters. It matters to us, and it should matter to you. We believe that operating with integrity will set us apart from our competitors, and that this attracts people to us that share these same values. I say this because I want you to know when you work with Semper Fi, character counts. It's why you can count on the industry's hands-down best lifetime workmanship warranty that now includes free annual inspections. And it's why we always have one project manager per job, which is absolutely not the industry standard. When you're paying for a brand new roof to go on what's likely the biggest investment you have, you want it done right, and you want to be able to count on the people doing it. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
Keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here with spring here and the warmer temps in the air. This is a great time to be doing all the fun outdoor stuff, right? Like the hiking, the biking, maybe going to the lake. But if your joints are flaring up, you may be having second thoughts maybe about hitting those 18 holes. Well, if you're tired of the achy joints, here's what you do. You call QC Kinetics. Do it before you agree to surgery or steroids or any other medication. It's what tens of thousands of patients are doing. Take Abby, for instance. Constant back pain. She had nonstop ice packs, steroids. It was exhausting for her, but thanks to QC Kinetics, Abby feels like a new person. No back pain thanks to QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. Call QC Kinetics. I'd love to be talking about your story next, your lasting relief with no downtime. Call QC Kinetics. Consultation is free. Hear about it now. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics.
From big tailgate parties to cozy dinners for two, the freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods. Now through Wednesday, save on 24-pack Essential Everyday Purified Water, 2 for $7. 8.2 to 20 ounce selected varieties CPAC seafood, $6.99. 4.5 to 5.3 ounce selected varieties Chobani Flips yogurts, 2 for $3. Gallon Prairie Farms white milk, $3.99. Half gallon Prairie Farms chocolate milk, $2.49.
Hey, why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take the mound at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 24th.
So the New York Times has taken a look and trying to answer this question. Is it really better to rent or buy? A financial decision. So the conventional wisdom is that if you can afford it, it is better to buy because you build up equity. They looked at from a pure dollars and cents per month cost, is it better to rent or to buy? And they say that if you buy a $500,000 house, and if you're renting before that and your mortgage payment is $2,000, and the average mortgage rate right now is 7.25%, you put 20% down on that house, you take a 30-year mortgage, all those basic things. They say if you run the numbers on that scenario, renting in pure dollars and cents will save you $133,000 over 10 years. Because you put out more money to buy the house. You need to put out a lot of money for the down payment. Recurring costs are higher in a house because it costs more to own a house. There are repairs that come with it that the landlord doesn't cover because there's no landlord.
When something's wrong at my place, I just call the landlord.
And he fixes it.
They replaced my water heater. They've replaced my stove, dishwasher. What else?
Here's where they're
Everything.
flawed, I think. So if you look at their calculator, they're assuming that your monthly rent is $2,000. What is your monthly rent? Do you mind me asking?
$1,500
Okay, $1,500
for a
even.
2-bedroom, 1 bath.
Okay. So that's 2-bedroom, 1 bath, $1,500. If you were to go into a house, you're going to go into someplace bigger. For one thing, I guess you and Jason are going to definitely want more than 1 bathroom.
Oh, God.
You're probably going to have at
Romance
least
is gone.
3 bedrooms, right? And most houses are
Yes.
3 bedrooms or bigger. So if you look for that sort of apartment size, so you can compare apples to apples here, that rent in the Milwaukee area goes up to just under $3,000 a month in the research that I could do here, living in a decent neighborhood. That's what the rent is. So then if you do that, and you're comparing the same size apartment versus the same size house you would likely buy, buying makes more sense because the rent is so high. Here's the other thing. We can do all this like, ooh, well, you have to pay for plumbing if you're in a house. You don't have to if you're in an apartment and you get a leak, that sort of thing. You build up equity in the house.
Yes.
If you have an apartment, you're not building up equity. You might have a lower payment than your mortgage is, but you're not building any equity. So when you sell that house, if you've been in the house for 30 years and you've paid off a $500,000 house, you have $500,000
Oh, it makes me sick, John.
in your pocket.
When I add up over the years, how much I'm just giving it the equity to somebody else.
So that's why I think the New York Times is flawed in their calculation when they talk about just dollars and cents and try to make the case that it's cheaper to rent. And you raised a really good point about the New York Times with this survey.
Do you think more people rent or own in New York City?
That's a great point. So here they write the story saying it's better to rent. It's better dollars and cents. Huh. Playing to their crowd. It is 4:27 at WTMJ. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. What a great day for the markets. The S&P over 5,300 for the first time, up 61 points on the day. The Dow at 39,908. It's knocking on the door for 40,000. That's up 350 points on the day. The NASDAQ, the big jumper, up 231. It's at 16,742. Records all over the place. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. Details at annexwealth.com. With this crippling inflation, you'll still enjoy a super affordable meal at the family-owned Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The Mine Shaft has just lowered their Wednesday and Friday fish fry price. To listen to this closely, $4.99 when you dine in. Don't pay $15 to $18. Your Mind Chef fish fry is just $4.99. Wow. Kids and grandkids 5 and under eat free from the kids menu Sunday through Thursday. They'll love that world-class game room quietly tucked away from the dining area. Or build your own big burger or chicken sandwich for under $10 today. The Mind Chef's Wednesday and Friday fish fry, now $4.99 if you dine in. That's amazing. And on Thursday, speaking of amazing, buy one pizza, get one free. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh, just off the interstate. Just walk on in today for your $4.99 fish fry. Desserts, I love their desserts. Make sure you check them out. MineshaftRestaurant.com. It's the Mine Shaft.
So he said to me, boy, oh boy, do you got the boulders. And I said, you betcha. And he said, do you mind if I cherry pick? And I said, feel free. They're all beautiful and they're all granite. Sparkling pinks, blues, and grays from 4 to 36 inches. And they're all priced right because we buy direct from the source nationwide to give you the look you want. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Well, if you need flagstone for your new natural patio, Erickson's is the place to find it. We have the largest selection and 15 styles to choose from. And for decorative stone, Erickson's is your best choice. Our decorative stone is trucked in from all over the country. We buy straight from the quarry and cut out the middleman to keep your prices nice and low. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Traffic is sponsored by Flanners Home Entertainment. Flanners.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanners Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanners. Just press play.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, one president really not happy with how protesters were handled.
I'm Julia Fellow. Are we or aren't we sending weapons overseas?
I'm Debbie Lazaga, southbound 43, right about at Locust. We've got an accident off on the right shoulder, so that's going to be complicating things a bit since we already have some pretty hefty delays all the way back to Capitol, so keep that in mind. And those delays continue all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge, all the way down to the KK River. Northbound's backed up right through the Marquette up to Keefe. Westbound 94, still a pretty brutal ride. Very slow out of the Marquette, on and off the brakes, all the way into Waukesha County until you get to about Calhoun. Then it starts to open up a little bit. Still have some more patches to the west of Highway 16 as well. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight will be mostly clear. The low will be 48 degrees. Tomorrow, partly cloudy. There's a chance of scattered rain and storms, mainly tomorrow evening. The high will be 60 at the lake, 72 inland. The current temperature in Milwaukee is 61 degrees.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, UW System President Jay Rothman is not happy with how UW Milwaukee ended a 2-week pro-Palestinian encampment.
Rothman says he's reviewing the decision-making behind the deal made between UW-Milwaukee and student protesters. That deal includes UWM calling for a ceasefire in Gaza and agreeing not to ticket students who were camping. In contrast, Rothman appeared to support the deal made with protesters at UW-Madison days earlier, as well as use of law enforcement there. Rothman issued a statement saying in part, quote, "We need to ensure that there is accountability and responsibility for actions taken on our campuses," end quote. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
More American weapons headed to Israel after all. ABC's Matt Gunman is in Tel Aviv.
What the White House suspended was about 3,500 2,000-pound bombs. Those are big monster bombs that can take out a building or even parts of an entire block or a neighborhood, killing large amounts of people. And the concern from the White House was that these bombs would be used in a Rafah incursion. These are what Israel relies on, the precision-guided bombs. So they said, hey, you can't have those, but, you know, as per previous agreements, we're going to give you these artillery shells.
Reports say the White House promise of aid is tied to $3 billion in military sales already promised to Israel.
Bond is set for a teacher accused of grooming a student. Christian Enright of Kenosha being held on a $5,000 bond after his first court appearance. His lawyers tried to get the criminal case against him dismissed. When that was rejected, Enright entered not guilty pleas to 22 misdemeanor charges. The former Kenosha teacher is accused of grooming a 14-year-old student after Kenosha police detectives located hundreds of deleted Snapchat messages. Enright's due back in court on June 14th.
Milwaukee police are investigating a shooting involving multiple teenagers. It happened early this morning near 44th and Clark on Milwaukee's northwest side. One 17-year-old was shot, then ran for help and was rushed to the hospital. Another 17-year-old was found dead hours later. That teen died of a gunshot wound at the scene. Milwaukee police are seeking unknown suspects right now.
A 19-year-old is facing more than 50 years in prison after a police chase in a stolen pickup truck that injured an 11-year-old boy.
The charges for Griffin Johnson include recklessly endangering safety, fleeing officers in a vehicle, and neglecting a child. According to a criminal complaint, Johnson had stolen a pickup truck equipped with a plow, driving it on 2 high-speed chases away from 3 police departments on the night of May 9th. The second chase ending when he crashed into 3 cars, a crosswalk signal, a traffic light, and several signposts, injuring 3 people in the process. The truck then rolled into a ditch and caught fire. An 11-year-old boy was pulled from the wreck. Accounts differ on whether he was forced into the truck. He is still being treated for his injuries. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
The Milwaukee County Transit System's summer schedule includes extended service from the Connect One bus rapid transit line. The BRT route will officially lay over at the Couture Transit Concourse starting in June. Next month, June 2nd to be exact, Route 18 will be expanded to the Industries for the Blind and Visually Impaired in West Dallas. In January, both lines were ranked to the top 10 in terms of ridership numbers across the system.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Wrapping up a 3-game series at American Family Field, the Brewers beat the Pirates 10-2. They're off tomorrow before starting a road trip to take on the Houston Astros on Friday. The NFL's complete regular season schedule will be revealed tonight. 3 games to be played in London, including Aaron Rodgers and the Jets against the Minnesota Vikings on October 6th. The Packers open their season in Brazil against the Eagles on September 6th.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:35.
This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, and I want to talk about exactly what we do. When you come here, you're going to get 2 shots with 2 very small needles. One will be a medication called Toradol, which is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, completely different from a standard steroid or cortisone injection. This medication is safe and a great pain reliever. The other will be hyaluronic acid, which is a naturally occurring fluid found in all of our joints. What hyaluronic acid does is it helps recoat the inside surfaces to provide cushioning and lubrication. It helps slow down the osteoarthritis process to a point where patients may not need surgery. All of this combined with using our state-of-the-art Ultra G machine developed by NASA has produced profound results. What we do works. And the best part about this is that insurance covers most of our patients' treatments. Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Time for Travel Wisconsin with our friend. She's the rock star in the travel industry. She is the travel secretary, Ann Sayers. Ann, good afternoon. It's so good to have you here.
Good to hear you. It's been a while.
It has been, it feels like. Biking. It's been a while since I've been on my bike, too. And this is a big deal in Wisconsin.
It is. Biking season's really just getting started now, and we are a 2-wheeled paradise. So whether you're the adventure type or the relaxation type, we have trails to match your everything you might be looking for.
Yeah, there's all types of different trails, John and Ann. And there's a Wisconsin Trail Report that will really help people navigate the summer.
Yes, this is such a popular resource because it's fantastic. It's the Wisconsin Trail Report, your go-to resource for planning your biking excursion. When you use the report, you can find trail networks of all sorts for biking. So again, from the leisurely kind of afternoon ride in the country to a multi-day adventure, maybe you're going mountain biking, we've got it. The Trail Report includes the general conditions for all those trail networks, so you'll know just what to expect. You can click on a destination on the Trail Report, and it's going to tell you nearby places where you could spend the night or have a nice meal or find another way to kind of round out your trip. And you can do all of this by going to travelwisconsin.com/trail report.
I love it. That's fantastic stuff. Mountain biking, Ann, has become increasingly popular, and you can do this big time in Sawyer County.
Yes. So head up this summer. It's a mountain biking experience unmatched in the Midwest. You start off by staying at the Rome Adventure Base Camp. The campground is nestled in the woods. It provides direct access to the Canva trails. That's a vast trail network. It includes more than 130 miles of single-track mountain bike trails right there in the heart of the Northwoods, or you can tackle 200 miles of mapped gravel routes, and that's something that's becoming very popular right now for cyclists. Back at the Rome Adventure Base Camp, you can enjoy peace and stillness at their remote campsites. They also offer 4 year-round cabins that are elevated, like literally they're raised up cabins that are up among the trees.
Cool.
And then while you're up there, I know you have to go to the Sealy Sawmill Saloon. If you haven't been, it's an iconic experience. It's the outside of the building is like crazy. It looks like it was just plucked out of a German fairy tale. And inside, it's classic pub fare, nightly specials like Friday fish fry, Saturday prime rib, and Secretary Sayers recommends the Bloody Mary.
Ooh, all right.
Okay, got it. And when I think about the lakefront, I think that's perfect biking. And Ozaki County would be a great spot.
Yes, you can cruise through the communities north of Milwaukee on the Ozaki Interurban Trail. That trail connects riders to natural landscapes and historic downtowns of places we all love, Cedarburg, Grafton, Belgium. It runs for 30 miles on a former railroad track. And because that path is paved, it's a great option for families that just want to have an afternoon out exploring. In Port Washington, what a great place to take in good food and good views at Fork and Tap. That restaurant makes elevated comfort food, and it's next to the city's idyllic marina. The popular item there is the chicken sandwiches, which are served on the restaurant's signature truck bread, and that's topped with tons of different ingredients. And if you visit after Memorial Day, be sure to get your licks in at Frankie's. That's the seasonal ice cream shop. They scoop up cones and dishes from inside a picture-worthy 1969 Airstream trailer. Isn't that cool?
Oh, my God, that is so fun. And when I was a little boy, my dad took me on a bike ride on the Elroy Sparta Trail. I think we started maybe near Toma, if that sounds right. Tell us about the Elroy Sparta Trail.
Oh, what a nice memory. And that does sound right. The Elroy Sparta Trail is a historic, must-visit biking destination. It's considered the very first rail-to-trail project in the entire nation. It winds through the Driftless for about 32 miles, and then it connects 5 small towns between Monroe and Juneau County. The trail is famous. You may have seen pictures of it. The 3 rock tunnels. They were built 140 years ago to get trains through the area, and now you can walk your bike through those historic tunnels, and it's an experience you're just not going to find anywhere else. Then for home-style cooking, make a pit stop at the Dorset Valley Schoolhouse restaurant that's located in Wilton. That's right next to the trail. You're going to be wowed by its former 19th century one-room schoolhouse. And now you can choose from breakfast, lunch, and dinner options to fuel you up for your cycling journey. And then make it an overnight while you're there. A meal, bed, and breakfast, peaceful stay, quaint farmhouse, and a country-style breakfast for you in the morning.
So, Ann, yesterday, Julie and I were in the newsroom, and we were watching that football come across from Michigan to our place here. And we saw the governor. We were like, oh, there's the governor. And we saw the Packers brass. And we were like, oh, there's the president of the Packers. And then we saw you, Ann, and we were like, there's our friend. There's Ann Sayers, wearing her Packers colors. It was awesome.
I was so honored to be there. It was the excitement for us hosting the NFL draft next year is just crazy. People are so excited. The governor was beaming. It's just, this is going to be a blast.
It's so cool. It's so cool. You looked good in that forest green, too.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I was like, I'm going to wear blue. And then I said, no way. No way. Today is a green and gold day.
You made the right call. Ann Sayers is the travel secretary. For more information on everything Ann talked about, check out travelwisconsin.com, travelwisconsin.com. Ann, it's always fun. Thank you so much for making time for us.
Thanks for having me.
Travel Wisconsin is sponsored by that website, travelwisconsin.com.
It's like playing baseball in the house.
Mom, Dad broke the window.
Without the risk of...
Again.
That. Every Thursday at 8:40, play virtual baseball on Wisconsin's Morning News. Step up to the virtual plate and test your mettle against the best.
Swing and a drive to right.
It's virtual baseball, presented by Siding Unlimited. Only played here on WTMJ.
Welcome back to Ask Hassellus.
If you could spend 1 month anywhere, where would you go?
Easy. I'd go to bed.
I mean anywhere in the world.
Precisely.
You'd spend the entire month in bed?
Specifically, a new Tempur-Pedic from Hassellus Mattress.
Why?
Because I can take 60 months to pay for it. Through Monday, get 60 months interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedic mattresses plus a $300 MasterCard gift card.
60 months. That means...
You can buy a Queen Tempur-Pedic ProAdapt Hybrid with ease-adjustable base for just $74 a month.
And I get a $300 MasterCard gift card.
Free next-day delivery and employee-free showrooms, too.
So I can try and buy...
With no pushy sales guy.
Hang on.
What are you doing?
Searching for a travel agent to book a month-long vacation at Hassell's Mattress.
Enjoy 60 months interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedics through Monday at Hassell's Mattress. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at Hasselist.com.
A cancer diagnosis shouldn't mean we can't make plans. It shouldn't mean living without joy or optimism. Cancer shouldn't be calling the shots. At the Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, we're pushing to put cancer in its place by pulling together teams of leading specialists and researchers who work tirelessly for breakthroughs, who are developing innovative ways to treat every cancer, to treat your cancer. And by providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in Wisconsin, so there are more treatment options and more reasons to be hopeful. So let's keep innovating. Let's keep discovering. Let's push to make every cancer diagnosis a story of survivorship and bring back the lightness of life that cancer takes away. To learn more about breakthrough cancer care, visit frederick.com/cancer.
Are you in need of expert exterior renovations? Look no further than Ridgetop Exteriors. For over 22 years, we've been the trusted name in roofing, siding, windows, doors, and gutter replacements. With a track record of excellence on our Google reviews, we take pride in transforming houses into dream homes. Visit us today at ridgetopexteriors.com for a free consultation. That's ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, your trusted local affordable partners.
Traffic is sponsored by Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialists. Retire well with Kowal.
At Kowal Investment Group, we've been helping our clients plan for retirement for over 36 years. We'd like to help you too. Visit thekowalway.com or call 262-522-4040.
Traffic and weather. Let's get a look at the roads with Debbie Lazaga.
All right, Julia, we've got some delays. 43 southbound, there's an accident right about at Locust off on the right shoulder. So just something to keep in mind if you're heading through that area, that's what you're running into. We've also got a broken down vehicle on 894 westbound, just between 84th and 92nd Street. Left lane is blocked with this bad boy, so that's going to be tying things up. It's already backed up out of the Mitchell interchange anyways because of the construction zone. Westbound on 94, slowing from 25th Street all the way to about Hawley Road, and then back on the brakes out of the zoo, pretty much all the way to about Moreland Road. Other pockets of heavy traffic beyond the Gerke's Corners area, all the way heading out towards Highway 16 as well. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight will stay mostly clear. The low will be 48 degrees. Tomorrow, partly cloudy. A chance of scattered rain in the evening. 60 at the lake, 72 inland. Friday, partly cloudy. A chance of showers early in the morning on Friday. 69 at the lake, 74 inland. Saturday, partly cloudy. 71 at the lake, 78 inland. And Sunday, mostly sunny. High of 74 at the lake, 78 inland. The current temperature in Milwaukee is 61 degrees.
Dale Koinga is the president of the Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce, and he is with us in the studio. Dale, good afternoon. Thanks for being here.
Good afternoon.
I was excited to see you on Monday night at the Armed Forces dinner.
You look good, all dressed up.
You looked really great. Thank you for your service. You had your uniform on. I love that night, Dale, because it's politics aside. It's celebrating the men and women that wear the flag. Can you talk about the dinner, and then we're going to talk about the week a little bit. How special is that annual dinner?
I've been going to that dinner now for well over a decade, and your very good friend Jeff Wagner has always emceed it. He does a very good job, dignified job on that. But it's hard to explain for those who have never been to the Armed Services dinner, but there's many, many highlights. My favorite part is where everyone stands up and sings their song.
Yeah,
for their
for their branch.
Yeah, for their branch.
Oh.
So yeah, and that's fun. You sing your branch, you stand up, and then you sing other people's branch.
So all the Navy guys stand up and they sing Anchors Aweigh.
Yeah.
Then they sit down, and then the band and the singer up there sings the Army, and then everybody stands up and waving the flag.
To sing the nation's might, and the Army goes rolling along.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone it's great. It's just a lot of camaraderie with services and a lot of appreciation from people there, and it's a great event.
I love that numerous times the message ended up being, look, it doesn't matter. I might not have voted for this president or I might not have voted for this governor, but we all wear the flag and we all answer the call of duty and we're all in this together and we all do a good job, the military now saying this, in setting that aside and protecting this country and honoring this country.
That is so important to our tradition. In fact, I was asked, and I was honored to do it, I was asked to do the toast with Commander-in-Chief. And when I was asked, the question was like, do you know, I was like, I don't care. It's the Commander-in-Chief. It's the President of the United States. I respect whoever's in that office. And so that's the tone of it. That's what the Constitution says. And it was just many great things about that night.
So you raise a great point, Dale, because Dale walked up on stage during the toast. They do 4 big toasts. And Dale's toast was holding a glass, and we're all holding glasses in the audience. He says to the president, what did you say exactly?
Well, I say to the Commander-in-Chief, the President of the United States. And then you say...
I can't remember.
You say to the President of the United States.
The President of the United States. And everybody, and I was waiting because of this climate we live in for there to be some groans or some, and there wasn't. Everybody raised their glass, and then it's on to the next thing.
And if it's President Trump or President Biden or President Obama, it doesn't matter. It's your Commander-in-Chief. You respect that. That's the way this country works.
So Armed Forces Week is all this week, and there are events today. There's literally an event every day. It culminates with a big thing at Harley on the weekend. Tell us about Armed Forces Week. As a member of the Armed Forces and a leader in our community, how important this week is.
Well, Milwaukee has, I think, the largest Armed Services Week in the entire country. Little Milwaukee compared to these big cities.
And one of the oldest.
Yeah, and so it started off on Monday. I was a speaker for, it's called ESGR. It's called Employee Support for the Guard and Reserve. And it's a DoD program to wrap your arms around and support employers that support their guardsmen and reservists. So at MMAC, we announced that we would be an employer of choice and we would set the example of what that looks like. But it's so important. It was important during the big wars to support, your soldiers. But what happened since 1960s is that the reserve and guard have gone from a reserve for they're over the hill, we'll call them if we need them, to an operational part of the force. The Army cannot, and the Navy and the Air Force, they cannot operate without the reservists and guardsmen. They're on a rotation. So it's really important that employers support them. Also, the other thing that's really important is that the fight we're fighting today, it's not necessarily with artillery and tanks, but it is with state-owned enterprises, it's with cyber issues. The fight very much today has a lot to do with civilian skill sets. So the importance of having reservists and guardsmen in that type of fight is critical. So having employers that support their guardsmen and reservists are more important today than it ever has been.
Dale,
thank you for your service.
Thank you so much. You're right, Julia. You raised such a good point because I was embedded with a unit that was a reserve unit at the beginning of the Iraq War, and I went to Iraq with a reserve unit from Wisconsin. And these were guys in the unit. One guy, the commander, Colonel Mitchie, ran a garage door company. That was his full-time job, and he was a reservist. There was a cable guy who was in charge of one of my platoons. Dan Buttry at the War Memorial was the captain who was 20 years ago my minder. He had to make sure I didn't do anything stupid. Can you believe that?
Small world. That is great.
Yeah. And they were, to your point, all reservists. And it was the first time since Vietnam that units had been activated and sent overseas in a regular conflict. And the men and women left behind needed the support of the companies.
Yes.
They needed the organization that you were talking about.
It's so funny. And people know this. And things have changed. The perceptions are changing. And it's so positive. But I'll never forget. I was stationed at unit in Green Bay. When I first joined the Army, this was 19 years ago. And I would go to Barnes & Noble because I was cheap and broke, and I would go to Barnes & Noble and read the books, in the coffee shop. And so I'm in the coffee shop, and I'm reading the book, and a lady comes up to me, and she's got 2 small boys behind her, and she grabs me on the shoulder and says, "Thank you so much for your service." And then she looks at 2 of the boys and says, "I tell my boys to study really hard so they don't have to join the Army." And it was so well-intentioned. And I'm like, I'm going back, and we have doctors and attorneys and mayors and medical people. On average, these are very, very educated. These are the greatest. And some people can't get out of their head of well, you offer to go to jail or you offer to go to the Army? No, it's quite the opposite. It's actually harder to get in the military than it is in college these days.
We have former presidents, for example. Hey, let's switch gears. Let's talk about this is a number that I thought was higher. John thought would be lower. Talking about how much you need in Milwaukee to live comfortably.
Well, I could kind of dig into that comment as far as your standard versus
my
John's
lifestyle. My lifestyle,
bling bling over there. I won't embarrass by asking you what your number is. But the point of the article is this.
I thought it'd be over like 120.
Mine was, I thought, like 50 grand.
I don't know what it is. I know that no matter what you make, it's always higher than what you're making.
It was 80.
Yeah, it's 80. Yeah,
in Milwaukee.
Yeah. So the survey shows you need $80,000 if you rent in Milwaukee to live comfortably. A couple grand less if you own a house to live comfortably. I guess this gets to what we've been talking about. What is middle class and how affordable is our city?
Well, it also gets to what is it compared to other places. So you compare that to San Jose, San Francisco, San Diego, it's double that. And so you just can't get your money. And I think I was talking about the other day when we were talking about recruiting strategies, is that you could get so much more for your money in a city like Milwaukee. So I think we should market that more and get that word out there that, your dollar goes further in Milwaukee.
Oh, I so agree. Numero uno would be the affordability. It's even more, Milwaukee's more affordable than Madison. When I was moving here, it's 33% more expensive.
Interesting.
Really?
And you're right on the nose, John. The average for nationwide is $50,000.
Oh, okay. So how are we high? That's interesting.
Well, there's a lot of parts of the country are rural. So whenever you go rural, you could
good
go,
point. Even in
your
Wisconsin.
radio audience, the fact if you're a person living in the third ward and trying to make it with 80,000 versus you're living, in the more rural parts of your listening area, those are different numbers.
Hey, I want to ask you about the Baird Center. It's incredible. It's huge. We had Marty Brooks, the president of the
He's awesome,
Wisconsin.
isn't he?
Yeah, we had him on yesterday.
Like lightning.
Fantastic. Tell us about how big a deal it is for this huge Baird Center expansion.
Well, Milwaukee was lagging for many years in the capacity to hold events, bigger events. And Marty may have talked about this as well, but it's not only holding bigger events, it's the ability to hold multiple events at one time. So we were losing this business, so losing the hotel rooms. Now, from my MMAC hat, what I'm thinking is more people come to visit. How can we get more people to say, hey, this may be a place I want to live? So when we're increasing this foot traffic, what we want to think about is, okay, how do we get more visibility from Milwaukee and retain people here? But that aside, is the economic impact of this Baird Center is going to be huge. They talk about from over the next $12.6 billion over 30 years, $150 million in incremental income taxes. So that's just one of the projects out there, but really exciting. I just have to give props to Baird for being a sponsor, and also the Baird Center staff over the Wisconsin Center District. They are so professional, and their game is so on. Very proud of the work they're doing.
Have you been in there? Have you gotten a tour?
I have. I did the hard hat tour with the steel, and then when it was being all done, and I will be going to that gala tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going home tonight. It's a tough night for the family. I've been doing cool stuff all week. And tomorrow night is going to be the Baird grand opening.
It's a big week in our city. Also, the Rep and the Milwaukee Public Museum doing major renovations and groundbreakings. Lots of good stuff. Dale Koinga is the president of the Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce. What a great conversation. Dale, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
It is 4:56 at WTMJ.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Baird Center opens to the public Thursday following a $456 million renovation. The convention now has 1.3 million square feet overall, including 24 meeting rooms, a new exhibit hall, executive kitchen, and a ballroom. Wisconsin kicks off 2025 NFL Draft festivities with the NFL Draft handoff. The commemorative ball, similar to the Olympics tour tradition, travels from Detroit to Green Bay as the city prepares to host the NFL Draft next April. Kohl's Corp shareholders reject a proposal to establish an oversight committee to review the company's actions related to social and political matters. Of the 81% of shareholders who voted prior to the meeting, only 6% voted in favor of the proposal. I'm Logan Hansen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
The Pfister Hotel is our sponsor. Make your reservations. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
Milwaukee's finest hotel, the Pfister Hotel, is continuing with renovations to enhance its already stellar reputation. Phase 2 of the renovations is in progress to transform the hotel's historic rooms, with many new rooms available now for reservations. Phase 3 will focus on the hotel's public spaces, set to be completed this summer. The renovations will blend exceptional comfort with cutting-edge technology, reinforcing the hotel's approachable sophistication. The Pfister is ready to welcome you for your next visit. Start planning your stay today at thepfisterhotel.com.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we get you outdoors because we get you. When it's time to get out and cultivate your ideal yard, we get you the right products at the right prices. Like 40-pound bags of Scott's Thicker Lawn Sun and Shade Grass Seed Mix, $64.99. Assorted bags of Scott's Naturescapes Mulch, 3 for $15. Save an extra $2 a bag by mail-in rebate. Plus, leave the heavy lifting to us with Blaine's Farm and Fleet's convenient drive-thru. Order online and we'll have it ready for you in just 1 hour.
John Mercure here for Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. Guess what? I've got a Guthrie and Fry water softener in my house. Guess what again? They bring the salt in. They take care of all of it. They even keep track of when it needs salt. I've also got an RO system, reverse osmosis. What that means is that the water that's coming into my house that we cook with, that we drink, is crisp, clean, clear. It is the best thing going. It's Guthrie and Fry. Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry, quality products and services at a fair price from a local company you can trust. I trust them. It's Guthrie and Fry. There's lots of competitors out there. This is a local company with local people. Rob and Sue, the way they run their company, it's like you got family in your home every time one of their folks is in your house. I know, because they're in my house. Comprehensive, reliable products and services, fixed rental rates, Guthrie and Fry all the way. In-house plumbers can handle all the tough questions. They don't have to come back. Don't have to get in the truck, go back and get the product. It's Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning, because better water makes a big difference.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scafidi. Right now, schedule your free in-home estimate, and for every 2 windows you buy, get the next 2 free. Plus a free upgrade to triple pane glass, and they'll double your energy tax credit. Restrictions apply. Just like me, you'll be saying,
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. Dignified services with less expensive fees compared to other fine funeral homes. Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
Now there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage, available at Navage.com.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. Your top story. 2 presidents agree to go head-to-head on the issues.
I'm Julia Fellow. Meet the newest homeowner in Milwaukee.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and we still have a disabled vehicle on 894 westbound, blocking the left lane just west of 84th Street. So heads up with that. That earlier accident that we had on 43 southbound at Locust has been cleared up. So we do still have delays from before Capitol Drive down through the Marquette down to Lapham. Northbound slow out of the Marquette all the way to Keith, and westbound 94 slowing down from about 20th Street all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard, then back on the brakes from the zoo through into Waukesha County, pretty much all the way to Calhoun. And while you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you do happen to see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 53. Tomorrow, scattered showers, a high of 68. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Decision Wisconsin. The debates are set. President Biden and former President Trump will debate 2 times before November's general election. The first on CNN on June 27th, the second on September 10th on ABC. Speaking exclusively to 1017 The Truth, Sherwin Hughes, President Biden emphasizes the importance of voting.
If you don't vote, if they don't show up, folks don't show up, you don't have any say on who's going to be your next president. And there's so much at stake. Democracy, freedom, our economy, all are on the line.
You can hear the full interview on WTMJ.com.
The Senate Intelligence Committee warned this year's presidential election could be the most attacked in U.S. history.
Committee Chairman Mark Warner warned of foreign malign influence, saying,
in many ways, our adversaries
could be more sophisticated and aggressive in both scale and scope in this election.
Warner said he's concerned how AI tools can accelerate the spread of disinformation. This as the committee kicked off its first of several expected hearings on election interference before November.
We've got to do a better job of making sure Americans of all political stripes understand what is very probably coming their way.
M. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
Charged with felony election fraud, Martin Kale of Columbus is charged with 1 count of election fraud, specifically voting as a disqualified person in the November 2022 election. Kale allegedly had been on felony probation for a 4th OWI offense in Dodge County and decided to register to vote in person on Election Day. Kale will appear in court June 11th in Fond du Lac County.
Milwaukee County Parks could be opening 2 more deep well pools this summer as their roster of lifeguards is growing. The Parks Department expects to have about 110 lifeguards ready to work this summer. That's up 10% compared to last year. The department also plans to open 30 waders and splash pads this summer. Last year, just 25 water parks, wading pools, and splash pads were open throughout the county due to staffing challenges.
I'm finally in my home, which I love dearly. It's nice. It's brand new. It feels like a hotel, how I have my room set up.
That's Sharon, the latest Milwaukee Habitat for Humanity homeowner in Milwaukee's Harambe neighborhood. She says the best thing about home ownership?
I don't have a landlord. I am the landlord. I have nobody else to call on but myself.
Sharon says participating in Habitat not only helped her build a safe place for her family, but also generational wealth. Milwaukee Habitat for Humanity is celebrating 40 years of affordable home ownership this year. Coming up, escargot, caviar, lobster, all are considered an acquired taste. But what about cicadas?
And just ahead at 5:08. Wedding debt is out of control, and that's not all. The first people who may come to mind are not the ones that are paying the most.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:05.
Gene Miller here. Springtime. Better start thinking about those home improvement projects. Now's the time to call my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. Update your home's curb appeal and build equity with energy-efficient replacement windows and doors from brands like Pella, Anderson, Marvin, and more. Hometown can also customize your project. They're your local source for wood, vinyl, or fiberglass windows and doors. Stop into their newly remodeled showroom in New Berlin to see the Hometown difference. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. HometownWindows.com.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
One of the best things about being in business for 25 years is having clients recommend AccuNet to their now adult children for help buying their first homes. That's how I connected with Dan and Allison, and let me tell you, they were fast learners. They quickly embraced our most powerful tool for winning offers, Appraisal Wiggle Room. Their first offer was $15,000 over asking and included a provision which AccuNet guaranteed they could afford to make, that they would still pay the higher offer price even if the appraised value came in up to $15,000 short. The result? Accepted offer versus several others on the very first try. And by the way, if the appraisal had come in $15,000 short, which it did not, Dan and Allison would have needed exactly $0 extra at the closing table. If you think all mortgage lenders are the same, think again. Go with a multi-generation mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:07.
Millions of cicadas are descending upon us, and some say they're yummy.
Lucky folk in the South and parts of the Midwest will get to see both the 13-year-old and 17-year-old broods of cicadas. They are fat. Some have red eyes, and Josh Wicker in South Carolina cooks them up and says they're good eating.
So I went with the pig in a blanket kind of a thing, and then we went with bacon wrap. I fried some to compare it to like a fish fry.
Surely mouths are watering with such a menu. And yeah, there were pralines involved as well, but Wicker says he's not brave.
I don't think it's bravery. I think calling it brave takes away from what true bravery really is. I think what we are is curious.
All righty then, bring on the hot sauce. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
If you have a shellfish allergy, do not taste the insects because they
No.
contain the same protein that causes that allergic reaction.
What if you just have an aversion to eating bugs?
The more you know.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law offices. One call, that's all sports desk. Brewers win today, 10-2. Take 2 out of 3 from the Pirates. They start a road trip in Houston on Friday. And the NFL's complete regular season schedule revealed tonight. The Packers open their season in Brazil against the Eagles on September 6th.
Setting and limited WTMJ news time, 5:08.
I love the Fox and Hounds. WTMJ's John Markier here. The historic restaurant was recently voted one of the top supper clubs in the area. First opened in 1933, has been serving fabulous dinners for almost 90 years in their rustic timber structure. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free 7 days a week. Buy one, get one free. Every Wednesday, when you buy one world-class prime rib dinner, your second prime rib dinner is free. Order any dinner on the menu. Your second one is free. Made from scratch desserts, buy one, get one free. Add a Manhattan, an old-fashioned, or choose from over 100 wines to accent your dinner. The Fox and Hounds is family-owned and one of the most unique and affordable supper clubs in Wisconsin. Your second dinner is always free. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east and in the shadows of the beautiful Holy Hill Shrine. As the seasons begin to change, the drive is just beautiful. Got to check it out. Enjoy a free prime rib dinner tonight or any entree. Tables are still open. Reserve at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. It'll lift your spirits. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
Oh, that's so nice. Doesn't that make you smile?
Yes,
I was
love
going to say,
that
who
sound.
doesn't smile when they hear wedding music? Probably my buddy who's been divorced 4 times.
4.
Yes, we won't talk about that, though. He listens to the show. I shouldn't have even
He's
just
a
said that.
romantic. Hey,
Yeah,
I'm on
he
your
is.
side.
He is.
I'm
He
on your
is.
side all 4 times, buddy.
Yeah, he's something. All right, so wedding music, because we're talking about wedding costs, and we're not talking about what the bride and groom pay, which we talk about a lot. We're talking about how much attendees are spending and what it's doing to their bank accounts. 54% of Americans who have attended a wedding in the past 5 years have taken on debt to attend. 54% have actually taken on debt to attend. And 23% of that went in the whole $2,500 or more to attend
easily.
a wedding.
Easily for me with my best friend because we had to go to our bachelorette party. And
That's it. You just nailed it. That's the biggest cost, actually, is the stuff that actually takes place before the wedding, the pre-wedding stuff, bachelor parties, bridal showers. Sometimes those involve a hotel room. You're all pitching in to pay for the bride. That leads to the overspending. Why are people spending too much? The survey found 37% who overspent and went into debt felt pressured by family. 28% did it because they felt pressured by friends. It was a friend's wedding, and they felt pressured by friends to spend the money. Come on, what do you mean you're not going to the bachelorette party?
There's no question. I had to. I wasn't even pressured. I loved my bachelorette party when I went to Las Vegas, so she paid it back. You pay it forward. You're even.
26% say they were pressured directly by the couple getting married.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. 34% of wedding guests in the last couple of years have declined a wedding invitation due to costs. They said, we're not going because it's too expensive. 12%, this little sad statistic, say it ruined their relationship with the couple getting married.
So this makes or breaks your relationship
12%.
outside of marriage.
That's
Great.
that's a decent number. So what are people spending the most on when they go in debt? Travel to the wedding, accommodations for the wedding, outfits, and the wedding gift. Remember the old rule that your wedding gift's supposed to be equal to what the dinner costs?
Yes.
And then you're kind of guess, is it $100 a person? And then that's supposed to be your wedding gift. Do people still do that?
I should have with one of the weddings. It turned out to be nothing. Like it was styrofoam plates. And I had already written out the check. And I didn't have another one.
Oh, my God, that's hilarious.
It's like, oh my gosh. I gave $250.
And you had paper plates? What was
John,
it? How?
It was horrible. It was worse than like a little like prom.
How is that possible? Paper plates? Was it like at a
Plastic forks
VFW
and
hall?
Yes, it was. It was like an old firehouse. I was
Oh.
like, where am I?
It sounds lovely. So they did pretty good. They spent nothing on your dinner, and you gave them $250.
Yes.
So my daughter just got married in South Carolina, and it was a destination wedding for everybody except my mother-in-law. She lives in South Carolina. And so we had 60 people, and most of them were from Wisconsin, and we felt honored because we know it wasn't cheap because they all had to fly there. They all stayed in hotels. So my daughter was actually like, no one should get us gifts because their gift is they're paying a lot of money to come to the wedding.
Aw.
Now, of course, people don't do that. Like, I wouldn't do that either. I would still get the person a gift. But weddings are so expensive, and not just for the people getting married or the parents paying for the wedding.
Just saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm asking for a friend. So 54% of Americans say they've taken on debt to attend a wedding.
I made sure in my wedding speech to say every single state that's represented.
Oh, that's a great idea.
And at the end I said, and the great state of Wisconsin roars.
Oh, that's fun. You've been married 5 years?
Yes. How about you?
34.
Wow.
You know what? I never really feel old except for 2 times. When I say how long I've been married, and then I do always have to say we got married really young. We were 20 years old. And when I say how old my kids are, then that also makes me feel like, because my kids are older than Sam. That's crazy.
Oh, Sam.
Yeah. Sam, you got weddings coming up this summer. Are you going to go in debt? Is this stressing you out?
It is stressing me out a lot. A caller just said $200 each and I can't drop $400.
$200 each, like for the gift for the wedding? That's
I
a
have
lot.
2 weddings.
Oh,
$400?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Woo.
You better start working some overtime.
Don't I know it?
I hear On Tap with Sandy Max is looking for overtime producers. What's on tap? You could probably co-host. Maybe that could bump you up a little bit. What's on tap with Samatha Bunsen? That sounds good, doesn't it?
With Sam and Sandy.
Ooh, Sam and Sandy on tap. That's good. That's good. I think we're onto something. It's 5:14 at WTMJ. Debbie helps get you home up next.
Hot dog, get your hot dogs here. Hot and fresh hot dogs.
Hot diggity dog, it's baseball season. Wisconsin's Afternoon News has partnered up with Vienna Beef to bring you Brewers Ticket Tuesday.
Tune in every Tuesday during the 3 o'clock hour for your chance to win a pair of tickets for an upcoming Tuesday home game for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Nothing says summer like a hot dog in baseball, and we've got both on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
On the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Is it true the Hasselus mattress showrooms don't have any employees?
That's right. Try and buy with no pushy sales guy.
Okay.
Once you find the perfect beauty rest, Sealy Posturepedic, or Serta Perfect Sleeper, you can order by phone, online, or at our handy in-store kiosk.
Well, that's great, but
since we don't have to pay employee commissions, you will pay way less. Our 43 beds from the top 5 brands start at $393.
Okay, but
through Monday, buy your new Serta Perfect Sleeper, Beauty Rest, or Sealy Posturepedic mattress, and we'll give you a free box spring or an equal amount off an adjustable base. Free next day delivery, too. Does that answer your questions?
yes, except for one.
Shoot.
If Hasselus mattress has no employees,
Yeah?
then who are you?
I'm just the ruggedly handsome spokesperson.
But this is radio.
Exactly. I'm told I have a face for it.
Right.
Find a self-service showroom near you or shop online at Hasselus.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Since 1955, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. Hey, don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget. They'll even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geisdoors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Traffic is sponsored by Tehan Greenhouses in Oak Creek. Buy direct and local for all of your garden plants.
Come quick to Tehan Greenhouses in Oak Creek for the best selection on blooming hanging baskets, deck planters, annuals, perennials, and vegetable plants. Tehan Greenhouses in Oak Creek. Buy direct.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Lozica, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, John. We have this disabled vehicle still in the left lane on 894 westbound. That is just past 84th Street, between 84th and 92nd. So that's going to make for an interesting ride heading through there. Give yourself tons of extra time. Westbound 94 is still going to be heavy. It's backed up from about 20th Street through to Hawley Road, and then back on the brakes from the zoo all the way through to about Moreland Road. We've got an issue in Kenosha County. US 45 is closed in both directions. The southbound side closed at 45th Street and the northbound side closed at 60th Street. It's all because of a crash through there. That's the US 45, not I-41, 90, 45. So there you go. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for tonight, mostly clear skies, a low of 48 degrees. Going to be a good one. Tomorrow, scattered rain showers, a high of 72. More scattered rain on Friday, a high of 74. Saturday, partly cloudy, 78. Sunday, mostly sunny, a high of 78 degrees. It's currently 59. A couple of new fun things coming to Milwaukee that you can do this summer. Bumper boats will be for rent on the Milwaukee River this summer. It's just like it sounds. It's like bumper cars, but they're boats. It looks like a little boat. Look at this picture here. Looks like they're on a big disc, and there's a little steering wheel, and it's inflatable, and you can bump into each other. You can't go very fast, so you won't get bumped into the water.
Good.
But you kind of bump around into each other. It's kind of like bumper boats. So those are coming to the Milwaukee River this summer.
Looks like you're on a circular raft, and on top of that is a seat, and you're buckled in.
Yeah, you're buckled in. You have to wear a life preserver. This is not cheap, though. So these bumper boats, you have to use 2 at a time. Each one is $75. So you're in for $150, and it's for 90 minutes. And you also have to have completed a boater safety course and have a watercraft license. So you can't just show up down there.
What?
You know what's going to happen? People are going to see these, and they're going to show up down there and say, hey, I want to do that. They think it's going to like a paddle boat. And you don't. You have to have a license.
You might as well just hop on the swans by the lagoon.
Yeah, those big swans. Hey, so if that's not your deal, the other thing coming to Milwaukee this summer are adult bounce houses. You know, the bounce houses like you rent for kids for their birthday parties. I think this is so intriguing.
Am I going to see you in them?
You might. I'm going to take you there. We should do the show from a bounce house.
I would hurt myself. Workman's comp.
It's coming to Milwaukee. It's called the Big Bounce America on September 7th through the 15th. So for a week in September, and they're going to have 3-hour jumping sessions, including adult-only sessions, and I don't know.
Is there an ambulance on standby?
There ought to be.
Seriously.
It's 5:20 at WTMJ. Up next, the documentarian who made the Giannis documentary has a cool new documentary out. I talked to her. Her name's Kristen Lapis. That's up next.
Hi, this is Julie Coombs and Cindy Storm Fisher with Storm Fisher Investment Group. Are you a retiring professional worried about the direction of our economy, about making your money last? Come see what we can do for you. Let us show you how we take care of you to help you have a great retirement. We are at 262-796-8400 or stormfisher.com. See you soon.
Securities offered through Securities America Inc. member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Arbor Point Advisors LLC. Storm Fisher, Arbor Point, and Securities America are separate entities.
Hey, I've got a great idea for you to celebrate our Wisconsin summer. Be where we are going to be doing our afternoon show. It's EAA Air Venture. It's July 22nd through the 28th. It's the world's greatest aviation celebration. Enjoy a week featuring thousands of aircraft. See the legendary Canadian Forces Snowbirds. They will be in attendance. EAA Air Venture Oshkosh. I love this. The planes, the vendors, the energy, outdoors, Oshkosh. And free youth admission for 18 and under this year, supported in part by the Boeing Company. So bring the whole family. EAA Air Venture Oshkosh. Mark these dates on your calendar, July 22nd through the 28th. For more information and to buy tickets, visit airventure.org.
So if you're already in a relationship with an auto service center, that's great. We hope things keep firing on all cylinders.
But if you're not in a relationship, why not book your next date with us at Richlands? The next time you're due for service.
All of our locations are AAA approved and staffed by ASC certified technicians with PhDs in
We can fix anything!
Put that on top of the friendliest, hardest working staff you'll ever meet inside a tire and service center,
and you've got yourself a rock solid date.
The next time you're due for factory scheduled maintenance
or tires, brakes, and suspension service,
book your date at richlands.com.
Or just Google us. But remember, Richlands is spelled with 2 N's.
And oh yeah, be safe, buckle up, and hey,
always make sure you have good tread on your tires. I'm Courtney Matchkey with Richlands, and you're due for a date.
Clever.
Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here with spring here and the warmer temps in the air. This is a great time to be doing all the fun outdoor stuff, right? Like the hiking, the biking, maybe going to the lake. But if your joints are flaring up, you may be having second thoughts maybe about hitting those 18 holes. Well, if you're tired of the achy joints, here's what you do. You call QC Kinetics. Do it before you agree to surgery or steroids or any other medication. It's what tens of thousands of patients are doing. Take Abby, for instance. Constant back pain. She had nonstop ice packs, steroids. It was exhausting for her, but thanks to QC Kinetics, Abby feels like a new person. No back pain thanks to QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. Call QC Kinetics. I'd love to be talking about your story next, your lasting relief with no downtime. Call QC Kinetics. Consultation is free. Hear about it now. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics.
So Giannis, The Marvelous Journey was a documentary we all talked about not that long ago, maybe a month and a half ago, and it was put together by a woman directed by Kristen Lapis. She's very, very talented. She put together the Giannis documentary. She's got a new documentary out. It's called Full Court Press. It's about women's NCAA basketball. She had exclusive access to Caitlin Clark and others. It's really, really cool. I watched it a couple of days ago. Here's my interview with the director, Kristen Lapis. This is an exciting time. The WNBA is underway, and you captured this magical season with Caitlin Clark and some of the other women. Tell us your key takeaway from the season that we all watched unfold from afar.
I mean, it was just an amazing, amazing opportunity for our team to be with these three elite female players during this pivotal moment in the history of the game. Like, I told my production team this every single day, like, we are capturing history. And, you know, to be embedded with these three women and to get the access that we did. The access was unlike anything I've ever experienced as a documentary filmmaker. We were allowed in their dorms, in their locker rooms, buses, you know, with their families, like you name it. And so I think that this is a really revealing, you know, series because we were allowed into those really sacred spaces that normally you're not allowed into. And so, you know, again, experiencing this season with Caitlin Clark, who's changed, you know, the whole trajectory of the sport, and being embedded with her was a once in a career opportunity. And, you know, again, like being with the other two women, I always say people are going to come to the series for Caitlin and they're going to be pleasantly surprised by the other two athletes that we followed because they also have amazing stories.
We all watched Caitlin from afar. We saw the games on TV, the record-breaking number of people that showed up to watch her play. What is she like? What is she like away from the spotlight and away from the court?
She's really impressive for a 22-year-old. I say this all the time, and you know, people in Milwaukee can relate to this. The greats are just wired differently, and similar to Giannis, Caitlin Clark is just wired differently. The pressure, the media, the stakes, like it doesn't really get to her. All that she cares about is winning. And, you know, she handles herself with poise and maturity for a 22-year-old. But she's also, you have to remember, she is a college student. Like, I think that was the biggest takeaway for me is like, you know, she still wants to get a bacon, egg, and cheese on a Sunday morning with her boyfriend. And, you know, she still has her mom do her laundry when she comes into town. And, you know, her dorm room was a mess. And it's just funny because sometimes you see these women in the spotlight in the media and you think that they're, you know, these superstars that are living these really glamorous Hollywood lifestyles. And in reality, she was just a college kid, which I thought was really refreshing.
I want to ask you a quick question about Giannis before we let you get out of here. Giannis is getting married the end of August. You know Giannis. You know his family. You've captured his journey. What's your take on now Giannis going to Greece to get married to his longtime love?
Oh, my gosh. I could not be happier for him and Mariah. I know that this day has been a long time coming for both of them, and I know with both of their taste and attention to detail, it is going to be the most elegant and exquisite and gorgeous celebration, grounded and rooted in family. And, you know, it's funny. We've actually talked about potentially filming it for him, but
yes.
No definitive plans yet.
I was going to ask you that. Are you going to be there?
We'll see. We'll see. I don't want to. You know, Giannis and his family are very private, so don't want to give away any details.
Kristen Lapis, what a delight. So I think she's going to be in Greece for Giannis's wedding. and going to document it. That's definitely what she hinted at.
That's great,
How
John.
awesome is that? If you want to see her docuseries, and it really is incredible, the behind-the-scenes stuff they have of Caitlin Clark and these other two women, Full Court Press is now streaming on ESPN+. That's where you got to watch it. It is so, so good. It is 5:27 at WTMJ. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Stocks set new records as inflation cools. Good news all the way around. The NASDAQ was the big leader. It was up 231 points to close at 16,742. The Dow was up 350 points. It's now at 39,908. And the S&P sets a record. It crosses 5,300 for the first time and ends there, up 61 points at 5308. It's a great time for your retirement and investment strategy review from a fee-only fiduciary. Go to AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button now. It's Annex Wealth Management. Welcome to our Everyday Health feature brought to you by the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. If you have chronic ringing or other sounds in your ears, you know how frustrating and disruptive it can be. To help us understand tinnitus and what you can do about it is Dr. Marcia Dewey, an audiologist who specializes in tinnitus with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. Dr. Dewey, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
So how serious can tinnitus be?
So here in the United States, about 60 million Americans are affected by tinnitus on a regular basis. For the majority of those people, about 80%, they are not bothered. So most people just experience tinnitus. It means it's a benign condition inside their body that doesn't cause any harm. But there are about 20% of people who are bothered by their tinnitus, and about 2 to 3% are debilitated. Now, that may sound like a small number, but that's really a couple million people that are debilitated, where it affects their daily activities and functioning.
Are there ways to help filter out tinnitus or retrain the brain?
Yes, I'm glad you asked that. So we are all trained in what's called tinnitus retraining therapy, or TRT. So that's kind of the gold standard for treating tinnitus, and that is where we would use those sounds to help people retrain the brain so it no longer puts attention and importance to the sound that's inside of you, and it begins to fade away or go into the background. And many people find a great amount of help with that.
Why should people who have tinnitus choose the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network for care?
Yes, so our tinnitus program has been here for quite a while, and we have 4 different providers that are trained in the area of tinnitus and tinnitus retraining therapy. We have a lot of experience, and we see people every single day, and we are helping them to get better and move on with their lives and move past this condition.
You can get a personalized plan, education, counseling, or sound therapy, proven methods for relief and success coping with tinnitus. Dr. Marcia Dewey, an audiologist, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
You can find a doctor who's right for you by visiting Freighter.com.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Heard at work? Call Tayback for the payback. An injury at work may leave you eligible for compensation benefits, including lost wages, coverage of medical bills, or a cash settlement. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, pleading not guilty to inappropriate messages sent to a minor.
I'm Julia Fellow. A track star can't compete because his parents live in another continent.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and 894 westbound, just west of 84th Street. They are still working on this broken down semi that is stuck in the left lane. This is just past 84th Street, so watch out for the delays heading past that. We've also got backup southbound on 894 from Greenfield Avenue to Lincoln, Beloit Road down and around the Hale interchange. Westbound 94 heavy out of the Marquette all the way to about Hawley Road, and then in pockets from the Zoo interchange pretty much all the way through to about Highway F. On and off the brakes through there. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight will stay clear. The low will be 48 degrees. Tomorrow, partly cloudy throughout the day, then scattered rain and storms, mainly in the evening. The high will be 60 at the lake, 72 inland. The current temperature is 62 degrees in Milwaukee.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, bond set for teacher accused of grooming a student. Christian Enright of Kenosha being held on a $5,000 bond after his first appearance in court. His lawyers tried to get the criminal case against him dismissed. That was rejected, and then he pled not guilty to 22 misdemeanor charges. The former Kenosha teacher is accused of grooming a 14-year-old student after Kenosha police detectives located hundreds of deleted Snapchat messages. Enright's due back in court on June 14th.
A 19-year-old is facing more than 50 years in prison after a police chase in a stolen pickup truck that hurt an 11-year-old boy.
The charges for Griffin Johnson include recklessly endangering safety, fleeing officers in a vehicle, and neglecting a child. According to a criminal complaint, Johnson had stolen a pickup truck equipped with a plow, driving it on 2 high-speed chases away from 3 police departments on the night of May 9th. The second chase ending when he crashed into 3 cars, a crosswalk signal, a traffic light, and several signposts, injuring 3 people in the process. The truck then rolled into a ditch and caught fire. An 11-year-old boy was pulled from the wreck. Accounts differ on whether he was forced into the truck. He is still being treated for his injuries. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Milwaukee police are investigating a shooting involving multiple teenagers. It happened early this morning near 44th and Clark on Milwaukee's northwest side. One 17-year-old was shot and then ran for help before being taken to the hospital. An additional 17-year-old was found dead at the scene hours later. Milwaukee police are seeking unknown suspects.
A senior track star is unable to compete in varsity, regionals, and state events because his parents live 5,000 miles away.
According to his coach, Josh Owanley runs one of the fastest 100-meter dashes in state history at Campbell Sport High School. Owanley tells TMJ4 News.
Now with running the crazy times, honestly, that I have, I'm shocking myself.
Owanley is unable to compete due to his father residing in Ghana, Africa, even though his mother has already moved back to the States. The WIAA requires both parents must live in the area.
It's disappointing. He legally can't come into the country, and they just don't really believe, even with the documentation showing that, they don't believe he can.
Julian Johnson, WTMJ News.
UW Green Bay is the talk of the college basketball world after the school announced national sports radio host Doug Gottlieb will be the men's basketball head coach. Gottlieb intends to keep his job behind the mic.
Coaching is a lifestyle.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher, a former Packers player, knows a lot about coaches. So he's confused how Doug Gottlieb, who does a national radio show, can also coach a Division I basketball team.
The reason most sane people don't go into coaching is the hours are obscene.
Tauscher tells Wisconsin's Morning News it's great the hire's putting UWGB in the headlines, but
I just know what coaches put themselves through, and I'm fairly certain they can't have another full-time job if they're going to be good at what they're doing.
Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
The Milwaukee County Transit System's summer schedule includes extended service from the Connect One bus rapid transit line. The BRT route will officially be a layover at Couture Transit Concourse starting on June 2nd. Route 18 will be expanded to the industries for the blind and visually impaired in West Allis. In January, both lines were ranked the top 10 in terms of ridership across all the systems.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Wrapping up a 3-game series at American Family Field, the Brewers knock off the Pirates 10-2. They're off tomorrow, then head to Houston to begin a road trip on Friday. And the NFL's complete regular season schedule will be revealed tonight. 3 games will be played in London, including Aaron Rodgers and the Jets against the Minnesota Vikings on October 6th. The Packers open their season in Brazil against the Eagles on September 6th.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:35.
Sponsored by Grandview Homes, the name you know, the name you trust. GrandviewHomes.com.
We asked people why they sold their homes to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
I decided that spending the time and money to rehab the unit and sell it through conventional means was not in my best interest. They give you a fair price offer, close quickly, and pay promptly. The process with Grandview was virtually effortless.
Whether you have a hard-to-sell home, want a stress-free sale, or simply need to sell your home fast, Grandview Homes is the name you know and the name you can trust. Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznatsky is with us. Hello, Niz.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Hey, we asked Kristen about this yesterday. I was interested in your take. Did you see any of the northern lights over the weekend?
I did. Yeah, it was the Friday night.
Yeah.
I believe, the first night. Friday night, and it was after I worked. I worked the evening then, and I was home, and I was waiting for the storm clouds to clear out. If you remember, there was a line of storms that was rolling through, and I was up. I was getting tired. I was like, okay, it was midnight. Let's go out. Now we're in Grafton, so that's outside of the city, but we're still pretty suburban. There's a lot of street lights and stuff, but we were able to see them. Now with the naked eye, it almost looked like moving shadows in the sky. But then if you held up your phone, of course, the lens opens up, and certainly a pretty good show that way.
It was cool. I was out there Friday too at like 1 a.m. It was amazing. We had just been in Iceland, so we had seen really, really vibrant northern lights.
Oh, cool.
But these were cool. I've never seen these in Wisconsin where I live in the falls like that.
It was super rare. So, like, the best way to sum it up is there is an actual measurement that is taken, and it's a KP scale. And what it's measuring is the geomagnetic activity, basically during these times of northern lights. Some of the protons and electrons that typically get blocked by our magnetic field sneak in through the poles. This happens when there's like a big solar flare. So we had that going on, and we were at one point on Friday at a 9, which is at the top of the scale.
Wow.
0 to 9. So this was some of the strongest activity and the best Northern Lights display we've seen here in Wisconsin in decades. So definitely was worth all the hype. But in order to get those really vibrant lights, Northern Lights, you got to get outside of the city lights.
It was cool.
It was cool.
There's someone here at the station who's planning to propose, and we'll do the Northern Lights.
What?
In another country coming up.
Okay, they better
I'm not
get
going to say who, but it's wonderful. Isn't that so romantic?
Sam's like, God, Sam's shushing us. She's like, don't give away the secret. Oh, now I want to know who it is.
Okay, let's play the game of Clue. Okay,
yes.
Initials. No.
Let's play 20 questions. Are they female?
No, I'm not saying.
Are they on air? She's like, I already said too much.
What town do they live at? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Are they over 5'7"?
It was cool.
Okay. You're very quiet.
Now she's tight-lipped.
Yeah.
Now she's tight-lipped. Yep. It was cool. And honestly, catch me another time with the Northern Lights. I'm usually very pessimistic with Northern Lights because there are many times when, you hear about it online, and I have to temper expectations because the KP's at like 5. It can be really hit and miss. Sometimes it could be like really looking really good, and it just doesn't pan out. And then you got to throw in the atmosphere. Do we have clouds and whatnot? So usually I'm very pessimistic, but this was one that was definitely off the charts from the norm.
Super, super cool.
Making me feel bad that I was snoozing that whole time.
Yep, you're
Rub it in.
sound
Wake
asleep.
up, Julia.
All right, what are we looking at tonight, Niz, and through the next couple of days?
Okay, it was a nice day today. A little cooler near the lake again, but overall good. Partly cloudy skies eventually tonight. Clouds increase of our next storm system. So low temperature around 50 tonight. Tomorrow, partly cloudy. Scattered showers and storms starting around midday and into the afternoon. Now, if we get a little bit of sun in the afternoon, we could build up enough instability that some of those storms could be on the stronger or severe side. I don't think we're looking at major severe weather, but just remember that in the afternoon. High temperature 68 degrees. Rain is pretty likely. Not going to rain all day, but I think we could see multiple rounds of showers and storms, especially in the afternoon. Friday, mostly sunny, 68 lakeside, 74 inland. Saturday, mostly sunny, 71 lakeside, 76 inland. Tiny chance, like 10% at most, that we get a little stray shower somewhere Saturday afternoon. Do not cancel or alter any outdoor plans. Sunday, sunny, 72 lakeside and 77 degrees inland. Overall, the weekend looks really nice.
All right, looking good. Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky. Thanks, Niz.
Okay, John, Julia, see you.
It is 5:41 at WTMJ. State Senator Tim Carpenter up next.
Hot dog, get your hot dogs here. Hot and fresh hot dogs.
Hot diggity dog, it's baseball season. Wisconsin's Afternoon News has partnered up with Vienna Beef to bring you Brewers Ticket Tuesday.
Tune in every Tuesday during the 3 o'clock hour for your chance to win a pair of tickets for an upcoming Tuesday home game for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Nothing says summer like a hot dog in baseball, and we've got both on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
On the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Time for another new coat of paint on your house? Get Rhino Shield ceramic coating. You won't have to paint again for 25 years guaranteed. Now until June 21st, get 15% off with 12 months same as cash financing. Visit rhinoshieldwis.com.
Don't paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Annex Wealth Management, volatility, inflation that's not going away, global unrest, and a presidential election in November. That's why it's time to have a strong partner. You'll get that with Annex Wealth Management. I've been with Annex for several years. I trust them. They know what they're doing. They're local. You and your family deserve an investment and retirement plan that's well-crafted, efficient, and focused on your goals. Annex works to help you get to the retirement you desire. Annex is a fiduciary all the time, not just some of the time. They're required to operate in your best interest always. They don't try to sell you anything. That means no commission products. Their job is to provide excellence when it comes to investment and retirement planning, along with tax and estate planning. I've used all those areas of Annex. They're top tier. Annex is a local independent firm with a focus on helping you achieve the retirement that you deserve. Start the conversation with Annex. It only takes a couple of minutes. Visit annexwealth.com. Click the Get Started button today. That's Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference with Annex.
And that's the best thing about Capital's AC Beyondification.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Hey, Merle, what you got? What's this? A screenplay?
Let me see this. Captain Capital, Heat and Air Hero.
That's so awesome, Merle.
Hang on. I've been writing a screenplay like this.
For years.
It's an epic, and it's Capital Man, not Captain Capital. Yes, of course he restores your air conditioner to like new condition.
Says here, Captain Capital has a deep clean device.
Aha! Capital Man deep cleans your system with his laser beam hands.
What?
I'm developing a sidekick. He always does the comprehensive safety checks. You wrote yourself in as the sidekick?
As long as it gets across how Capital's AC Beyondification saves the day.
And how you want to do it before summer hits.
Well, that's the whole point.
That's what I'm saying.
Then it's great.
Laura, Seth, I need a moment with Merle, please.
Schedule your AC Beyondification today online at callcapitalcares.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Flanders Home Entertainment, Flanders.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanders Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanders, just press play.
There's only one store that gives you every possible choice in diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Let's get a look at the roads. Get you home with Debbie. Hey, Deb.
Oh, hey there, Delia. We've got issues out on the road. I can't help it. It just is happening. 94 eastbound, right about at Holly Road. Left lane blocked now with a broken down vehicle. That's got things backed up into the zoo. We got northbound, make that southbound on 43, right about at Highland Avenue. Left shoulder is blocked with a crash. They're still working on this broken down semi that's stuck in the left lane on 894 westbound, just west of 84th Street. So that is going to be adding to your headaches. And then on the off-ramp to 35th Street from westbound 94, that off-ramp is closed right now because of a broken down semi. So I don't know what's going on, but take it easy out there. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
It was a heated day in the Wisconsin State Senate yesterday, the last day of the session. Democratic Senator Tim Carpenter lost his cool, got upset yesterday when Republicans tried to silence debate to override 9 vetoes from Democratic Governor Tony Evers. This was at the very end of the session. The senator is here. He's going to explain it in a second, but I wanted you to take a listen to Senator Carpenter during one of the last roll calls before they took a break.
The governor did not veto the money.
Senator, you are out of order. You're required to sit. You shall care. You're out of order.
Senator Carpenter then threw his papers up in the air. There was a stare down. Things were adjourned. And Senator Carpenter is with us in the studio. Senator, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for being here, John.
Give us some perspective. Tell us what we heard, what was happening.